Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest. Nicole Hause is with us. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm excellent.
I'm good.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, excited.
Wait, did Chris say your name right?
Of course I did it.
You say Nicole Hause?
Yes.
That's the new right.
The new right.
There you go.
Because how do you say the name properly?
Technically, as my whole family's been saying it my whole life, it's Hause, like cause.
Okay.
But I did go to Germany recently, like I guess 2 years ago now, and I said, how do you pronounce this? Because it's a German last name, and they're like, Hauser. And I was like, oh, that's why at every European contest at Vertitech, they'd be like, Nicole Hause. And I'd be like, why are they saying Hauser?
Like there's no R whatsoever.
I just like let it happen because I was like, whatever, what am I going to say? But I guess Hauser's the technical correct.
Okay.
I grew up saying Hause. But everyone I grew up around always says House. Like, what's up, House? Like, so I kind of just let it run.
It's one of those names where you kind of just got to let it run, or else you're gonna be going around your whole life just correcting people.
Exactly. And it's like such a simple last name, right? Kind of like it's like people are like pretty confident that they know it when they say it too.
Yeah.
They're like, House. Oh.
House.
And there's so many play on words with it, like Nicole in the house, like
there's
like always something. I'm like, let's just keep
let's just run with it. We're gonna change this starting now. This generation, we're good.
Yeah, Nicole Hause it is. Yeah, starting now. My kids and down.
There you go. Because it is kind of, you look at the name on paper and you're like, okay, I don't know if this is how you say the name. Right. It's not House. It's Hause.
Yep.
So there's something there. Every time on the show, when I say Nicole Hause, I try to say like Nicole Hause. Like I kind of, because I didn't know the proper, so I kind of like try to like Nicole Hause, like I try to say it faster. Like I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to say somebody's name improperly, repeatedly too.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm honored that you guys are like talking about me on the show.
Of course.
Too.
Yeah. No, because, I mean, just your last part alone. First of all, congratulations.
Yes.
On the pro. We got the pro model right here.
Thank you.
Ooh, felt good, huh?
Yeah. Felt crazy and good all at the same time. Still feels good.
Yeah.
Now, we don't want to upset Jaron because he didn't have a surprise when he returned pro. Talks about it all the time.
Yeah, he's already upset now that you just brought it up.
I know. Constantly keep bringing it up, too.
Everybody that turns pro nowadays gets a surprise.
I know. It's become the norm.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was always a thing. It's obviously not always a thing. You like knew you were going to turn pro.
Well, yes, I knew. So it was like, it wasn't a surprise. However, when I found out I was going pro, yes, that was awesome,
Right.
But we don't get to, write it out how you guys get to these days.
Yeah.
Which is really rad. I admire what they do for the new pros these days.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then not only that, it's like where was this? You were at some type of video thing. What were they showing there on the video?
Yeah.
Was it just for you, or were they showing other stuff too?
No, so it's an event run by a nonprofit called Skate Like a Girl in Seattle, and they do this huge event every year called Wheels of Fortune. And it's really cool. All the girls come together, non-binary. Everyone comes together and, has like a whole weekend of like all of these activities. And it's so fun. I've been to it one other time in 2018. So I was going up again and had a Nike SB trip planned at the same time. So like they're like, oh, we'll go up to Portland, then go to Seattle and do Skate Like a Girl, Wheels of Fortune.
Right.
So yeah, and like, oh, they were like, we'll premiere your video there because there's other videos premiering there at the same time. So the NHS one premiered.
The one that just came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking on the name? Roll of Their Own.
Yeah.
NHS Roll of Their Own. So that premiered, and there's also, I'm part of this documentary called Skate Dreams that premiered there. So it was like, I had like this triple premiere thing. I was like, there's going to be an overload of Nicole.
You're like, I got to watch myself all night long.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. So I just didn't even really. So it was like my video part came on at 9. And I was like, just ready for that to be done and over with. Like I was like, I just want to get on with the night. And then all of a sudden I was pro, and I was like, oh my God, added to the docket.
So you had no idea at all?
No, I really didn't. Like I didn't think I was going to turn pro this soon. Like, and I also, you know, like you're always like more self-critical of yourself. And you're like, I'm not ready. Like I just didn't really feel ready in myself to turn pro, I guess. So I didn't really think it was going to happen. I didn't think they thought I was ready. Like I didn't really see it all happening. But then there was like some weird things that happened over the weekend, and I kind of like, I kept trying to make sense of it. Like I was like,
but like, what was one of the weird things?
Well, I don't know. It was just like,
a weird, who was around?
It was just like a weird feeling. Like I'm kind of a little bit intuitive, I would say, and I kind of was just like, something feels like it's like about to happen. And then one of my friends, we call her Tweaks. Her name's Tweaker Mom on Instagram, but her real name's Diana. And she wasn't going to come to Wheels of Fortune. And then all of a sudden I saw one of my homies was like, oh, Tweaks is on an airplane right now. She must be coming to Wheels of Fortune. And I was like, what? No way. I like texted her. I'm like, yo, you're coming to Wheels of Fortune. She was like, no, I'm at work right now. And I was like, I just saw you on an I just saw your story on an airplane.
Why is she lying? She's fully lying to me right now.
Yeah, and then I have her location too, so I checked her location. She was at LAX, and I was like, okay, for some reason she's trying to surprise me.
You guys share your locations.
Yeah.
She didn't even turn it. She's bad. She didn't even.
She wasn't even in on the surprise. She didn't even know I was turning pro. She was just trying to surprise me separate. A whole separate surprise.
Gotcha.
Just kind of because she wasn't planning on coming, and then, you know, she was, so she was like, oh, I'm going to surprise Nicole just randomly. But so then I was like, that's weird. Like, why is she trying to surprise me? Even though it was totally separate.
So weird.
So yeah, there's just like some things, and I don't know, I was just like, And my parents weren't reaching out to me as much as they're usually like, what are you doing? Where are you going? And they were just like, it was like a few things, but I was like, nah, they're not going to do it here. And then
like they know you're on a trip and they know you're doing your thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I was definitely caught off guard. I was just like, what?
Had you ever before watched a video, like your video part, like with a crowd, like a premiere type atmosphere?
Not just like my own like singular video part. I've done like, you know, where I've been in videos or had a part in a whole video, but I've never had like my own part.
It's myself, a little like it's not for me. You know what I mean? Like you know your part's coming on. There's a big crowd there. You're like, what is this gonna like? Are people gonna be hyped? Is it gonna be crickets? Like you start playing in your own head. Like it's so, oh my god.
That's like only a new thing though. I feel like the last couple of years, right?
What do you mean?
People putting out single parts at premieres.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Sure. Yeah, so that's a little more.
Yeah, it seems like a little more pressure for sure. When it's just all about you.
And then your parents come on the screen.
Yeah.
And
then I kind of like knew something was up, obviously, but now I'm just in shock because I'm just like, they got my parents involved, and now my parents are like, what is going on? Like, and I could tell how nervous my mom was in the video too. Like her,
you could see it.
I could just like hear in her voice because she doesn't really like to be on camera. She doesn't really like to do that kind of thing. So I was like, but then by that point I was just so shocked, just like, what? And Nora's like, look, watch, and I'm like, Nora, what is going on? Like, what is happening? And then my dad was like, you're pro, and I was like, whoa. And then your
reaction was so funny. Like you damn near collapsed on the floor. You were like, what the hell?
I was like, really? Like, what? I just didn't see it all happening so fast, I guess, you know?
Right.
But yeah, so they definitely got me, and there's a lot of things. Like my girlfriend was in England, and I was like, she was there, and then like my two really good friends from snowboarding, Jill and Katie, were there. There was just like this mix of just like, and then my parents were there. Like it went from being on a skate trip, right, to then all of a sudden just like my family and like friends that are outside of skating were there. So I was like, whoa, this is like so much.
Like something, it's weird. Yeah, like you were just saying, the intuition, you know, like these things aren't adding. This isn't normal.
Yeah.
Like, why are all these people here? Why is my friend getting on a plane and she's telling me she's at work? Yeah. Like all these weird things are going on. But it's rad though. I think that was a rad way to do
together.
it.
Yeah. No, sure. They really killed it. Like they definitely like crossed, you know, all the boxes off, and like did, like my parents were there, like everything was like really in order, and I was super stoked on how it all turned out.
I think it was amazing. Like I said,
graphics,
like
everything.
Your parents, like we have the clip when you're when you turn pro.
So sick.
Where's the mouse?
You know, my poor mom's like,
hey Nicole, guess what? You're pro.
Look at your face. You collapse on the ground like.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was so crazy. And the posters were so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a surreal moment. Like, yeah.
Oh, you must have had a fun night that night.
I had so much fun. Oh my gosh, we shut it down for sure. I think they were over. They didn't have they weren't serving like hard alcohol at that. There was just like a brewery, right? So I think we ended up going to two bars or something after that. So
that's amazing.
It was a really, really fun night. Yeah, I couldn't have like dreamt it up better. It was all just like cloud nine.
I love it. I love it.
So cool.
I love it. Let's go back in time because like where did this all start? Like you with skating and all that. You grew up where?
I grew up in Stillwater, Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, so not really known for too much skating besides Clint Peterson, who's also.
I was going to ask who's come out of there. So Clint Peterson.
Yep.
Okay.
That I believe we're the only two.
Really?
Out of Stillwater specifically, but then of course Minnesota. It's like Darren Everett's from Minnesota.
Right.
Dave LaRue's from Minnesota. Like OG vert skater. Yeah, there's a lot of vert skaters. OG from Minnesota. I guess more, but yeah, I mean then like Tanner and Jack are from Minnesota, like street skaters, but from Stillwater, just us two. It's like a smaller town, like 20,000 people.
So how did even skating get on your radar?
So I remember it being from Rocket Power mostly, like the introduction to it, because I would play Rocket Power on PlayStation, and it's kind of Reggie Rocket. I would just like play that on PlayStation, so I kind of got introduced. Then I think my uncle and aunt bought me like a skateboard, but it wasn't really like a real skateboard, right? And I had this whole moment where I was like trying to find a real skateboard. Like, that's a pun.
Yeah. Pardon it.
Yeah. Pardon the pun there, yeah. So it was just like buying boards from Walmart and Target, and then just the wheel, it just like felt wrong.
Super generic.
Yeah, so it took me a while to actually get like my first real board, and then my friend had a birthday party at a skate park, and I saw my ramps and everything for the first time, and I was just like, oh, this is skateboarding. Because before I was just doing it, on the driveway and the sidewalks.
Buttboarding,
and just,
doing the knee
I didn't
boarding.
really like get the whole picture of it.
Sure.
And
then, how old were you at this point?
I think like 9, close to 10.
Okay.
It was like 2006, 2007. So yeah, I just I saw like all those ramps, and I like got addicted to it. And I actually like I had like a natural balance because I did gymnastics for so long. From like my mom had me in gymnastics at 2 years old. She was like,
wow.
I don't know if you guys know Nadia Comaneci, but she was like,
the Russian, Russian gymnast.
Yeah. So my mom was like, little Nadia. Like my mom's not like hardcore like that. Like she wasn't like forcing it on me, but it was like kind of funny for her, and like she thought it would be cute to get me a gymnastics. So I did gymnastics from 2 to 9 years old. Like, and then actually when I quit gymnastics, because they were like, I was like really small, and like they like saw like me in a big future. They were like, this is gonna be like, they wanted me to go into gymnastics 4 times a week for 4 hours a time, and I was 9 years old, and I was like, no, I was like, Mom, I don't want to do that. And they're like, okay, like if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But I competed in gymnastics, like did the whole thing, and then
so you could have probably gone to the Olympics.
Possibly, I guess, maybe.
Right.
I'm just like my size, I'm like 5'2", I'm like, I was like nimble and like able to like flip and spin and do all, definitely like crazy enough to do everything. So it was like maybe possible, they thought, good shot.
But that led right into your balance on the board.
Exactly,
Perfect.
yeah. My first drop, I don't remember falling on a drop in. I think I dropped in first right away and did, if I can remember correctly, I dropped in, did a rock to fakie, and did a tail stop.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
Are we
there's
on what? A quarter pipe or a
mini ramp with a spine on the other side? I can like still remember it.
So like what, 5 foot, 6 foot?
No, it was probably 3.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, and like it was a spine too. So like my, I remember my front wheels kept getting like in the little,
get locked in.
in the little crevice between the 2 rails, and then I just like. I think I just had an unreal balance because I was just balancing on little beams, and I was doing like cartwheels and flips on beams. So
but it's like, interesting too because like to do a rock fake, you have to have some type of understanding on how the board works with like lifting it up and doing all this stuff. So for you to figure that out that quick is fucking impressive.
Natural shit.
I think it was like more, you know how you like when you like clank on the way in a rock fakie? Like I didn't like fully like rock fakie.
You got your wheels up and over.
I made it happen.
It's still rock fakie.
I still did it, and I grew up with like a bunch of guy friends. I mean, like all my guy friends were there, maybe 5 or 6. And I remember it didn't work the same way for them. I think they were really confused, like eating shit, you know, like trying to drop in.
Yeah, most people I think had that experience.
Yeah. I don't remember eating shit at all dropping in. I just remember like doing it, and then I was like kind of the last one left skating. You know, maybe another 6 to 9 months after that, all my friends kind of didn't really skate anymore.
You had to kind of find a new crew.
I just didn't even find a crew. I was just like, I'm going to keep skating.
Where was it? Was it parked close to your house?
No. So my dad, I grew up in a construction family. So my dad and mom owned a construction company from the time I was born. So my dad knew how to build houses and all these other things. So
he probably knows how to build ramps.
Yes. So he built me a bunch of ramps inside, and I was just able to skate like inside. Yeah.
Did he build you a half pipe?
He did. So my first ramp was, we moved a bunch of times because obviously my dad was like, he's like, a car dealer's not going to have the same car, you know, for 10 years. So I'm not going to have the same house for 10 years. So it was like, you know.
It's good reasoning.
Yeah, like he puts it in perspective like that. And I was like, okay. So we moved maybe 5 times growing up. And so the first house that I had a ramp in, it was a mini ramp. Actually, funny enough, first it started off with like, my dad had old roof trusses, like full-on built roof trusses, and just like put plywood on those, and I would skate down those like big banks. And like random like construction stuff my dad had, we like built into things. And then over Thanksgiving, when I was probably 10, he was like, me and him built a mini ramp together. So I had that, and one side was 5 feet and one side was 4, and it was like 8 feet wide. So I skated that for about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And I moved, and I got into vert skating because I came out to California. And I was like, oh, vert ramps, like, that's what I'm all about. Like, I want to try to go in the air. Like, I was just, like, obsessed with, like, trying to get into the air.
Gotcha.
And I had only seen one other vert ramp besides going out to California at Lake Owen in Wisconsin, which is, like, a summer camp parent company of Woodward. And I would go there, and I would be, like, the only one to skate the vert ramp. Anyways, there was, like, no vert ramps really in Minnesota near my house. So my dad was like, I'll try to figure out how to build you one. So
how did he figure out that? Like where?
Because he's like, doesn't let anything stop him. He's that kind of guy.
No, but I love that. But how? I mean, like, you know, transition is very important. Like how much vert is on his, like all that stuff's very important. How does he go about figuring that out? Is he just looking at videos and trying to like figure out how to make like what would be good transition? Yeah.
So I was skating. I grew up skating with Cara Beth Burnside, who's like kind of like my mentor. As a kid, yeah, she's such a legend. Shout out to CB. She's the ultimate legend. Wouldn't be where I am without her, that's for sure. So she took me to Tony's, and I would Tony's ramp in Vista when I was a kid, and I would skate that a little bit. And then somehow my dad talked to somebody there and got the plans for that ramp. And then like figured out how to, you know, kind of shrink. Like I think he took a foot off because, you know, the building code, he could only have the roof so tall and like all these other things. So he figured it out through just, you know, talking to people. And,
I love that you got Tony Hawk's ramp plans to build your first half pipe.
So crazy.
That is insane to me.
I know, it's insane when I'm hearing myself.
Just you going there at such a young age, though, and skating that ramp must have been surreal.
Yeah, it was really surreal.
Was he there?
He was there one of the times.
Okay.
The first time I went there, it was Rune Glifberg, and PLG was there.
Do you know who these people are at that point in time?
I didn't at the time, no.
But you knew they ripped.
Yeah. Oh, I was just like, I've always just been like going through life just like, well, I'm here now. Like, you know, I'm very much just like experiencing it as it's happening. I also wasn't really like a skate nerd or anything. Okay. Like I grew up like so kind of isolated, I feel like, from the skate world because I was the only one like skating. It wasn't like I was like with all my friends and we're all like, did you see the newest like Thrasher? It was like me just like skating, just like loving skating, I guess.
Gotcha.
And not really like understanding the whole world of it. So
Which
when
is
I
kind of good
there,
sometimes.
Yeah.
It's kind of good not to know everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It worked out.
Yeah.
Did you don't need to know everything.
Did you watch any? So you didn't watch any videos or anything back then?
I did. I like started to more when I got my first boyfriend. He was like, what do you like, what do you watch? Because he was super into snowboarding. He was like telling me all the snowboarding things. And I was like, I don't know, like I guess Thrasher, like sometimes I watch Thrasher, or like I did buy like videos, I think Fully Flared I watched, and like sometimes I would, but I never was like watching it over and over again or anything. I was just like, that was cool, like, you know.
But at the same time, it's like Fully Flared isn't really like your cup of tea, so to speak.
No, I don't
right?
I don't think I understood how to find what I wanted to do in a way, like I don't know, and
it was not that there was that many options in that sense too,
right?
At that certain moment, it was just like the peak of like street skateboarding.
True.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Fully Flared, that was like ledge dancing era.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I don't know. I just remember like I think Extremely Sorry I downloaded. There was like a few things that I just like downloaded because I think I wanted to, but then I wasn't like hitting it for me.
But you can't relate
like,
to it because that's not your bag, so to speak.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe back then, like you knew who Tony Hawk was.
Yeah.
Because he's like Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
So was he the only person kind of that you were following back then?
Him, Ryan Sheckler.
Okay.
I was like in love with Ryan Sheckler.
Life of Ryan.
Yeah, Life of Ryan, of course.
For sure.
And Bam Margera, like I loved Bam. So I guess like the MTV crew, Tony. And then obviously I met Carabeth and Mimi Noop when I was like 12 years old. So then I was like, whoa. And also the first woman I'd heard of though was Alyssa Steamer because
legend.
My dad actually discovered, like, he was like Googling like female pro skaters or whatever, and he was like, he was trying to get me to golf that day for some random reason. And he was like, and Alyssa, literally, I can remember this photo. She was wearing this white tank top, and she was on a backswing with her driver. My dad was like, look, she golfs. And I was like,
amazing.
What are the odds that my dad would find? But that was like the first woman that was like brought to my attention. And then I met Carabeth and Mimi, and I was like,
rad.
Whoa. I was like, whoa, it's happening. I was like, this is crazy. I just like learned a lot about skaters from like meeting them and like being involved in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that what led you to get on like Hoopla and stuff?
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, Mimi and CB started Hoopla. Can't remember the year, but I probably started getting boards from them when I was like 15 or 16.
Okay.
So yeah, I was so hyped on that. I was like,
and shout out to Hoopla and Mimi and all, because like they help so much in the industry. It's insane.
oh my God, they're the best. They're the best. It wouldn't be where it is without them. That's for sure. Women's skateboard. I mean, like we would have been a power team. Like Hoopla was like Samaria, Alicia, Alana. Breezy was on it. Fabi was on it. I was on it.
It's heavy.
I mean, it was just like the list goes on, and now look at us all. Like we had that, platform and that space to like exist and be women skateboarders, and it got us to like where we are. So so thankful for Hoopla.
Yeah, shout out Hoopla. Shout out Mimi.
Hoopla.
I mean, yeah. So when you so what made you leave Hoopla?
I think they stopped doing it.
That was okay.
I was kind of like, it was kind of an easy transition, I think, because they, like, Mimi was like, I think they saw that women were having this other space created. Like, there was starting to be, Samaria got an Enjoy. I think Fabi was already on Santa Cruz by that time. And there was already some things happening for other people. And then I'm not sure if it crossed over with Jeff Grosso reached out to me and was asking me about Anti-Hero.
Oh, rad.
So I ended up, I don't know if I told Mimi, like, hey, Jeff called me. And she was, like, so supportive. I don't think she was even, like, tripping at all. She was like, dude, like, this is what it's for, is for you to elevate yourself.
And I've heard that so many times. Is like, it's kind of, I mean, which is, at one point it kind of sucks, but at the same point, it's kind of like, it's so rad that she is so supportive in a way, because I feel like it is a stepping stone. It's like Hoopla, and then it's like, what's else is out there, right? It's like, like you said, all the spaces were being made.
Exactly, yeah. And I also think, like, she wanted to do more with Hoopla, but I think Skate 1, it wasn't like, their visions weren't aligning maybe, and so she was kind of just like, you know, like it seems like there's places for other people and things are happening. I don't need to like try to, you know, do this thing if, you know, I'm not able to do what I want anyways.
What at what point in time did Grosso reach out to you? Like, what, have you already been doing the contests and stuff like that at this point?
Yeah, I started doing, like, my first combi contest was 2013.
2013.
So this was like 2018.
Okay.
He reached out to me, and I think it was after I'd won the combi, actually. He reached out and just was like, hey, we want to, you know, talk to Julian, maybe send some footage, you know, it's like whole little process. So, and then they were like, yeah, we'll send you some boards. So I started getting anti-air boards, which I was just like, what? Like,
so
I don't
sick,
even know. My life like exploded. I was like, this is insane. I was like 1.8. No, I still say 1.8.
What happened with 1.8?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It was about a little over a year after I'd already been getting boards. I had missed a call from Grosso actually, and whatever. I'm like, the fact that Grosso was calling me was so cool. I was like, yeah, like his voicemails and stuff. I was like, hell yeah. He was like, give me a call back, Nicole. Like, his voicemails were always so funny. Like, where are you? Like, yeah, he was like, like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. He didn't really say why. He said he kind of like blamed it on budgeting a little bit, but I wasn't getting paid, or like I was really hurt at the time.
I could imagine.
But looking back on it, I think that if I would have stayed with Anti-Hero, I would have been put in kind of a box.
Well, you start getting, you know, ahead in the world, you know, in the skate world, and then all of a sudden something gets taken out from you.
Especially
it's
like Anti-Hero.
Yeah.
I mean, it's they know what they like, you know what I'm saying?
So were they just like, oh, hey, there's Real's right here. You want to ride with them? How did that turn out?
I went like a year and a half without getting any boards from anyone. And I did have like offers, but nothing that I was like, I don't know, I felt like fit with me, and it wasn't really what I wanted to do. But it was nice because I was like getting options, but I wasn't like stoked on the options really.
Gotcha.
Which is fine, but I just like saw, you know, kind of where I wanted to be, and it wasn't with any of those brands. But it, you know, so at the time I figured I hadn't bought any boards from like pretty much since I started getting Hoopla boards, right? And then I started getting Anti-Hero boards. So I was like, I've never really bought skateboards. I was like, I need to buy some skateboards. Like, so I just, that whole year, pretty much, I just bought boards. And I bought, like, slave boards. I bought Death Wish boards. I bought, you know, like, all of these different boards. And was just kind of, like, trying, you know, whatever. And just, like...
It's kind of a freeing feeling, though, too.
Yeah,
when you get to kind of experiment with other things.
Yeah.
What other board brands were feeling good at the time?
Let's see. Yeah, like Slave. I was pretty into Slave boards.
Okay.
Chocolate boards. I was like hyped on chocolate.
I can talk to somebody down there. I know. I mean, I don't know if it's too late.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you sure?
Sorry,
Jim.
Jim.
I can call Jim. I don't know. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Should we call Jim right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Surprise, Jim's here.
Jim.
No, come on out, Jim. But no, that's interesting because, like, so did you have your eye on certain companies that you really thought you would mesh with?
Yeah, it was Real and Death Wish, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
I was, kind of were like the top two at the end of the day. And then, you know, I kind of, Ashley Rayfield started working at Deluxe, and I had known her for a while. And, you know, I was like, I want to try to get on Real. And she was like, well, let me see what I can help with. She set me up, and I had a conversation with Nate. And Nate, this was like just after COVID. He was like, you know, I'm not sure like how it looks, like if we're going to be able to get you to mesh with the team during these times. Like, it might be a while till, you know, anything happens.
Kind of understandable considering the atmosphere at the time.
Right. I was just like, you know what? Yeah, exactly. What am I going to say? I was like, but the fact that he's like going to send me boards and I'm going to, you know, at least have some sort of opportunity.
Right.
I was really stoked on. So talked to him, you know, went on, like, met him in Riverside at T Street and kind of just like connected with everybody and just kind of felt the vibes.
Because it's important. It's important for the company as well as the individual too. Like, you know, if you can't mesh with your teammates, what's the point?
Right. It's not any fun for anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, just to rewind, and you were going, so during all this time, no board sponsor, all this, you're still competing, obviously. And you're going towards the Olympics.
Yeah.
Which you made it to the, what is it, 16 people? What is it, how many?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it is.
It's something like that, right?
The cutoff?
Wait.
Yeah,
It's
the
20,
USA.
Or for the team.
For the USA team.
Oh,
4
the
men
USA
and 4
team.
women for each discipline, and there's 2 disciplines, so yeah.
Okay.
16.
16. So you made it to that.
So I made it to that on the first ever Olympic team, which was 2019. So I was on that team, but I didn't actually end up going to the Olympics.
Who beat you out?
A lot of people, I think. No, I'm just
We're
kidding.
gonna get a hold of them.
I honestly don't remember. I think I was like pretty far down by 2020 because I'd missed a competition and then I had done really bad. Like I can't. It's either a hit or a miss for me. Either I'm like gonna win or I'm just gonna get last place. Like
it's either or.
It's either or. So I got like 40th a few times, like way down in the ranks, like not even kind of close.
What is it? Just the vibe? Is it the bowl or the half pipe? Like, what is it that makes you feel like this is it? Like I can win, or you just have a shitty session?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like the park, like what the park feels like. Just where your mental mindset is at. Yeah, there's so many things, and like for me to win the actual contest that I've won in my life, I feel like, it takes so much mental strength to do that and so much energy that it just started to like kind of like fall apart like after injuries and everything. And kind of just like the scene around competing got really way different than I had really seen it progress from there being like 20 girls and it being like, wow, this only happens twice a year, to it being like, oh, this happens 10 times a year, and now there's like way more women, like 100 or 200.
Right.
Like it just got crazy, and parents are involved, and it's just like, it was just way too much, like snaking and like too much
hungry,
like, so much hungriness and like just no kind of respect, and like I don't know, like I grew up like seeing Nora and Mimi and everyone, like skating sessions with them at the combi and being like, they have priority over me in my mind, right? Because they're older, they're more established, they're like, I look up to them, where like the rules just didn't really apply anymore to that. They're like, oh, you're Nora Vasconcelos, I'll snake you, and I'm only 12 years old. Whatever, like my parents said it doesn't matter.
It's almost like almost equivalent to like a Tampa Am versus like a Tampa Pro.
Yeah.
Everybody at Tampa Pro's got respect for everybody. There's, they let everybody skate. Tampa Am is just this hungry, thirsty, like cage of just.
There's gonna be some kids that don't know what the proper,
etiquette.
snaking and the etiquette
aspect.
aspect.
Just trying to come up, dude.
Well, the thing about the park is that only one person can skate at a time. So
That's
everyone's
true,
trying
too.
to snake each other, but it's only one person that could skate. You're like, this is insane.
I wish someone would have had like a reality show. They would have killed it, because it was
Confessional booths.
crazy. Yeah, like everyone trying to skate like a massive bowl. I think the craziest contest was in China. On the 4th floor of this building, there was this massive like skate park, and the contest was supposed to be outside, but then there was tsunami warning, so we had to go inside. It was, I have like a screenshot of it. It was 100 degrees, 99% humidity, and we're in the 4th floor of this building. I would say there's 70 of us women standing around the bowl for 3 hours, and I would try to get like, I maybe went 10 times in 3 hours. And then like,
how are you even going to get something going like that?
Exactly. And then the time you do go, somebody else is going at the same time. So then your line's just not even, and you just end up like, I calculated it down to like, okay, so I'm just traveling to China and Brazil and all these places, going for a week and a half, 2 weeks, wanting to skate, wanting to do things. Then I'm going there, standing around a bowl, not even skating, not doing what I want to do, not like giving so much to something that I wasn't getting anything back from.
The juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah, and I was just like, I gotta drop this.
Yeah, that would bum me out too. That'd bum me out too. You travel across the world and you drop in 4 times.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, time to go home.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, so they've changed a few. I mean,
That's
like
good.
like now I think they organize the practice a little more, so it's not. But it was like, it's the first time it's ever gonna be Olympics, right? So we're kind of like the test dummies, and like we're like trying to tell them like, okay, have 12 girls in a heat, and then give us 30 minutes. That'll be better than 70 girls in 3 hours, because it's just like, there's so much that they had to kind of learn, and we were all part of that. So
yeah, but I feel like there's already like an established kind of way to do it, though. I mean, the men's shit's been around forever. Like, why not just kind of copy whatever's been done?
It was just because it was like an influx of so many different people from so many different countries too, right? It's like language barriers and just there's so many that like the men had the same problem, a little less though, because they're all like older. But they still had kind of the same problem. Like a lot of collisions, a lot of crazy, like...
And we are talking about something kind of new with this Olympics thing going on. So, yeah, it is a little different.
And they're really crazy about making sure it's equal for all different countries. So, like, that's why people started showing up, like, who is this person? Like, I don't know, but he qualified or she qualified because they're top 3 skaters.
Right.
You're like, oh, I get it.
He's the best in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. So you didn't enjoy it as much as you probably wanted to.
Yeah, it really not enjoyable at all. I don't imagine that actually very many people enjoy it. I don't even if you're good at competing, I don't think you really enjoy that. But yeah, I mean, from the start, like I've never been like, I'm a competitive person, of course, in a way, but not really with skateboarding. Like I feel like that's like more of like your own personal like art form. You're not really trying to like compete against anybody because it's not comparable.
Totally.
It's different. Totally. But that was the only avenue for women for so long, was competing. Right. So that's just what I was doing because that's what I thought I had to do. And that was kind of the only opportunities out there for me to just keep doing skating. Yeah,
it's funny because like that used to be like the opportunities for back in the day, like Tony Hawk's era, like 80s was like the contest was how you turned pro and how you did all this stuff, how you got sponsored,
Right.
It's very interesting, the whole Olympics thing. It's crazy, right? Or would you try to do it again, like for the new one?
I think I might.
Yeah,
I think I might, but not like the same way, and not with the same.
You've learned.
Yeah, I've learned, and now I have like this, like of course with Real and like the opportunities they've given me to just like film.
Sure.
And, like be a pro skater is more than I could ever ask for, honestly. So I'm just like stoked to be doing this, and it feels like I have a like stable ground,
to work
level
with.
To work on. So like if I go, it's not gonna like, if I go, it's gonna be sick, and if I don't make it, I'm like whatever.
I like your attitude. I think that's the best attitude to have. I mean, a lot of these skaters are like hyper focused and killing themselves over this like Olympic thing. You know, that's like brand new.
Yeah. It's sadly just not worth it, because at the end of the day you just don't have control over it either,
But everybody's different too, right? Everybody's got different motivations, different ways they motivate themselves. Like skating's so interesting that way.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's I don't know, it was really cool. And I watched the Olympics. I thought, I made my decision not to go to the Do Tour last qualifier, because I could have done that and still qualified for the Olympics, like if I would have done good enough there.
Why didn't you go?
Because I was like, I'm just not gonna do it. I was just like, I don't think I want to like put myself through that. Like I knew, like you try to convince yourself every contest, you're like, this one's gonna be different, I'm gonna like whatever, things are gonna come together. It's not gonna be as crazy. Shit. Yeah, it's not gonna be a shit show, and then it is a shit show, and you're like, well, I just wasted more time. So I was like, I'm just gonna like listen to my gut and not go. And so I didn't end up going, and then I was like, am I gonna watch the Olympics and be like bummed? But I watched it, and I was so stoked I wasn't there. I was like good, like hype, cheering all my friends on, but like I was like, I'm glad I'm not there. Like I felt really good in my decision.
I think a lot of people need to listen to their gut. Because your gut, your gut, you should follow your gut a lot of the times.
Always knows.
Your gut knows. It's really weird. There's a weird brain down there. It just really knows.
Weird, yeah. And even like you sometimes don't want to listen to it. Like you like can hear it, but you're like,
you're second guessing.
I'm confused. What option should I pick? And your gut's like, this one. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, well, let me flip a coin now. I don't know.
Yeah,
still questioning.
I've flipped so many coins in my life, and you're still like, I don't know. I'm gonna flip it one more time.
2 out of 3.
Yeah.
But the contest has been good for you, though. I mean, at the same time, it's like you won back to back. What was it? The vert attack? Was that the?
Yeah, vert attack. I think I won it back to back. Maybe.
3 times? We talking to triple threat?
Maybe 3 times, but maybe only 2.
Okay,
I actually
we don't know.
I actually don't. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, John Magnuson, can you tell me?
But back to back, I mean, that's amazing too. 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I was stoked.
What was it about that contest that was different from some of these other contests that just made you feel like
the vert ramp is perfect?
It's perfect.
It's perfect. I love it. I love to skate that. That was the problem too, is like a lot of the parks I actually didn't like to skate. I personally think 90% of the parks were terrible because
That's strong, 90%.
yeah, it's a lot. I mean, in my opinion, because they had this whole like shift, right, where they're like, we're gonna make park skating and it's not gonna be like vert, like there's not gonna be people doing 540s. Do you remember they had like no 540 rule at the first at the first Van Doren Invitational? Like this was like 2013.
Really?
Wait. Why would they have
because they wanted like more like Tony T to be there, and they wanted more like street ATV people to skate.
It's a weird one, but
Right, they had this vision, right?
Okay.
And obviously,
how are you going to tell somebody like no crooked grinds, everybody? No crooked grinds.
Yeah.
Okay, street lead, no crooked grinds, no back lips, no front feebles.
It got. I don't know. I was like still.
You know what I'm saying?
It would be kind of fun to play those rules.
I mean, just roll the dice. Oh, I can't do that this year.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
You're gonna lose points.
That's
Sorry,
my
guys.
shit right there. I can't do it.
That sucks.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, Ben Rayborn did it and then like flipped off the crowd. There's like a bit footage of it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, it was an interesting time to like see all that. So like the Vans Park series, like parks showed up, right? And there was no vert. It was like just a bunch of like, I call them like obstacles, because it's just like you have a bunch of stuff that you can't even really like skate. They're just like there, just like for looks almost. You know, like X Games 5, where they just make it look kind of crazy.
They beautify the park.
Yeah, just make it look more like technical.
Sure.
And I don't know. I just feel like for me and my skating, I just like more simple things, like definitely vert. It took so long I don't think it was until like 2020 that they started finally putting more vert on the parks. Like all those parks back, like it's amazing to me that those dudes were even able to like air and do all those things, because there's like no vert. They're like bank walls. It took me like hundreds of tries to do like a frontside air. Like
They got good
so
ollies.
annoying.
I love vert. I love watching it. It's like if you've never seen vert in person, like go to a vert event and watch it. It is mind blowing.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know. I think they kind of just made the parks like harder to skate than they needed to. And like everyone, like a bunch of people made it work. Like I just didn't. I couldn't make it work, and that's fine. Like a bunch of people did. I still just think they could have made it easier on everyone. Just put like no one, like audience isn't gonna be able to tell if there's vert on there. Just make it like. Then I remember we all had a meeting like after some X Games. It was a terrible park, and we all said the same thing, like just, you know, like tighter transitions, nothing like super mellow, so you can lock in a Smith grind actually. And some vert would be really nice, actually, if we could just. It wouldn't be so hard to like get up in the air.
I'm curious on like who's building them, who's making these decisions. Like it's really bizarre. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna build this way. Okay, no vert. No, we're not gonna do that. You know, who's doing this? It's weird.
I do know. I'm not gonna say. I feel like
No, please indulge. But you know what I mean, though. Like what's going on?
Yeah.
You know.
How about their initials?
Just whisper it. Nobody's gonna hear
California skate parks was like building all these, right?
Right, but they're going off of what some other people want them to build.
Right. Well, they have a designer in the house.
Yeah.
And who designs it. And California skate parks is awesome. I just think they come from more of a snowboard background.
Interesting.
So in their mind, they were like, in snowboarding, it's a bit different, like mellower transitions, easier to land on and take off of. Like instead of like super whippy stuff on a snowboard is easy because you have to like pop less, and like on a snowboard you can just like easily pop.
Right, like the vert's very important.
Right, on a skateboard, and I just think they didn't really understand skateboarding in that way to like factor it into, you know, they didn't skate at that level to understand. They maybe were a pro snowboarder or whatever. They snowboard a lot, and they kind of had their own vision, and I don't know. And I just think it got lost in translation a bit.
It's interesting because
no one asked the skaters, which
big mistake.
Always that's the first thing anyone should.
Because they make phenomenal like street parks.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Don't they do street leagues too? Don't they?
They make street leagues. Yeah.
I guess it's a whole different beast.
They're really sick. Yeah.
Talking about bowls and vert and stuff like that.
Yeah, the park's such a
should have brought your dad in there.
Discipline. Yeah. Got his level out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Set it up to code. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It gets sorted out in the end. I think they're kind of figuring it out. Like, oh.
Yeah, it sucks because like it's trial and error sometimes, but then you're a part of the trial process, which kind of sucks too. You're like, dude, I
just want to skate something fun.
Yeah. Totally.
Just something fun and simple. Not like I could go on about it for days, but pretty much the main reason vert attack is so cool is because the vert ramp's the best.
That's amazing.
And Sweden's really fun, and just the but it is still really snaky contest. Snaking on a vert ramp is so sketchy.
I could imagine.
There's like been some mad collisions for sure.
When you're doing the vert attack, like how many people are skating?
I think like 50 or something.
In different heats?
Yeah.
Okay,
but like practices, there's probably like 30, 40 people trying to skate.
During practice?
Wow.
Yeah.
On a vert ramp?
Yeah. It's
how would you even... Like I would go to lunch, I'd go grab a coffee. Like how am I ever going to drop in with this?
I usually like just go like early in the morning, or I'm like a big like, I did that even for some contests. I would skate at like 6 in the morning.
Is that easy for you to do? Is that really hard to wake up that early?
It's hard, but I'm not like once I'm up and out there, I'm fine. Like I can handle it.
Are you like a morning person though?
Yeah, I'm a morning person.
What time? Regular day? What time are you waking up?
A regular day, like 7:30.
Really?
Yeah.
What time you go to bed?
Maybe 11:30. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it depends. I can go to bed pretty early, like 10:30. Okay. Wake up at 7:30.
But you have that clock, that just always wakes up at 7:30.
Yeah, pretty much.
You no matter what, I'm waking up at that time.
Even if you like party the whole night, and I'll sometimes wake up earlier, like 6:30, like ready to go after I've just like got home at 2 a.m.
Do you set an alarm or do you have their No, you just wake up.
Oh no, 7:30. Yeah, I just wake up.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. I actually like used to just like want to sleep in so bad. I still want to sleep in so bad. I'm sure you feel the same way.
For sure.
Like,
but you just force yourself out of bed?
No,
you're up, your eyes are open, and you can't go back to bed.
I have a hard time staying in bed.
Oh, you do?
Like, I don't really like that. I like once I'm awake, I'm like ready to like
so interesting.
Go like do something.
I could definitely stay in bed. Like I have to set my alarm. Like I'm setting my alarm for 9 o'clock. This may sound late for you. 9 o'clock though,
if you didn't set your alarm, would you just sleep past it?
Sometimes the internal clock goes off and I wake up at 8:30, 8 o'clock, whatever. But I mean, if I wanted to, I could stay in bed till noon. I love just staying in there, but obviously I don't. I got shit to do.
Right, yeah.
But like, I love, the bed is the best. Stay in there.
Kind of feels like I'm like that, but in the night, like kind of like past 4, I'm like, can't wait to get into bed. Like, unless I'm like out doing something. If I'm home, like, I want to be like chilling, like in bed.
Cozy.
Yeah. I don't know. But in the morning, I'm kind of like a dog. Like, I got to get up. Like, do you
eat breakfast like right away or do you?
Not as much anymore. I used to kind of like eat breakfast right away, but now maybe later. Like, I'll wait till like 10 or something to eat.
Okay.
But it depends. Like, I used to kind of have like more of a schedule when I was like trying to compete and stuff, and I would like wake up early and like eat.
Interesting.
And, like,
yeah, that's a weird thing. It's like when you have a schedule to skate.
Yeah.
That's weird, right?
Kind of weird, yeah. But for me, it kind of feels a little bit normal, I guess.
Okay.
Just because like I grew up skating, like I don't know, you just like go to school and then you come home and skate. I don't know. That feels kind of like a schedule.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. And then
a routine.
Yeah, a routine.
It's a routine.
So, and I really like skating in the mornings. I was just saying I want to do this again. I used to like wake up and get to Prince Park. I lived at Carabao's house actually when I first moved to Oceanside.
Oh, rad.
And I kind of like when I wanted to like get everything consistent, I would get up. I would be to Prince Park at like 8:30 a.m. and I would like just do all my tricks.
Nobody's there at 8:30, right?
Not really. Like a couple like older dudes.
Yeah.
I've like always been skating with the older dudes because they're like there at that time.
Get up early.
Yeah.
You got kids.
Yeah.
And they're able to get that little skating.
They're like, 9 o'clock, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh
So I would do that, and then like by 1 or 2, my friends would be skating, so I'd get like another session.
You'd have like with them
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting.
It's kind of fun.
When you were like in transition from like Hoopla, and then you said you didn't have a board sponsor for like a year and a half, something like that.
Yeah, Sounds about right.
You were just buying random boards and stuff. And then when the real thing came in, they started just sending you boards. When was the point? I mean, obviously after all the craziness settled down, did you get to go with them on like a trip, or how did that whole thing work?
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked that they invited me on a trip in end of May. We went to San Francisco. It was May, must have been, what year is it right now? God.
2022.
Yeah.
2022. So
I'm the same way sometimes. I don't even know what day of the week we are.
it was it 2021? It must have been May 2021.
Last year?
Yeah, last
Year and
year.
some change, yeah.
Oh.
Was that right? I don't know. Sounds about right.
Okay.
Anyways, it was May of 2020 or 2021.
Okay.
I can't get my facts straight. But I was just like shocked because Nate kind of made it seem like, yeah, maybe not. You know, kind of like was a gray area, I guess. So I was really stoked like when I got invited on that trip, and I got in the van and like had a few days in there, and I was just like, oh, this is what I want to be doing. Like I had never really. Like, I'd been on one van trip before that with NHS, but I'd never, like, you know, I don't know. I just, like, it really put it in perspective for me. And that was at the same time I was trying to decide if I was going to do tour or not. So I was like, oh, this feels more authentic to, like, who I am and, like, what I want to be doing. Like, I just want to be with, like, people I actually, like to skate with, I like to be around, and just, like, getting clips. Like, I don't want to
Totally.
I don't want to be skating with people I actually don't even hang out with in real life, and like going to all these places and for what, you know, like.
Yeah. It's actually interesting because like what you just said right there, it's almost like that made your mind up or helped your gut tell you, let's not do this X Games shit. Like this is what I'm all about right over here.
Yeah. Yeah. It just felt like more authentic. And,
right.
Yeah, I was just stoked when they invited me on that trip. I was like, and I got along with the team so good. Like, all the dudes are so awesome, so nice and, like, respectful. And
so when you're going on these trips and everything, because, I mean, you do skate street. This isn't, but, like, you love, like, park and vert and stuff like that. When you're going on these trips, is it just, like, are you constantly, like, wanting to go skate something that maybe everybody doesn't want to go skate? Or are you just in the moment and, like, dude, we're at a spot, I'm gonna either skate this or support you know, the homies.
Yeah, I'm definitely like in the moment.
Yeah.
Like I love watching them skate, and I also like I want to just be good at skating whatever. So like for me, I always, no matter what spot we're at, I'm like, just skate. Like just skate something. Like doesn't matter if it's like flat ground or the curb. Like I just want to like, if I was able to hop out of the van wherever and skate something, I'd be so stoked. So I try to like think of that myself in the future and be like, you gotta like, you know, compound on that.
It's
like,
a good outlook. I like that.
I try to like make myself skate whatever or hype them up and yeah, and you know, I don't know.
It's all about team player, like, you know, whatever situation you're in. I mean, we're all in those situations. We all can't skate the same shit.
Right,
so
exactly.
we're just going to support each other on whatever you got that individual can skate.
Right, that's what it feels like. It's not like all of the dudes are skating the same spot. And like when I go to a spot, they're not like, why are we here? Like, you know, they're like content with watching me, and like I think like everyone's like a little bit secretly content when it's not their spot, right? Because if it's your spot, you have to like
you gotta
do something you're scared of, or like, you know what I'm saying? If it's not your spot, you're like cracking a brew, and you're just like, you got that, you got that, you got that
supporting cast.
Yeah.
Who's the funniest guy in the van?
The funniest guy in the van? Probably Christian. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Christian's really funny.
Dude, Ashad is like, really funny too.
Yeah, they're all funny. They all have like their own personalities and their own styles, and they're like, you know, I don't know. It's really cool. Everyone's so cute all in one group. Like, it's so funny. It's like, yeah. But Christian's really funny. He's like a cartoon. Like anything he says, you're just like,
you just crack. He's just one of those people.
Yeah, he's just one of those people. But Ashad's like that.
He is hilarious.
Shaw's delivery is always good.
Yeah,
he just, I don't know. He just comes. He's just funny as.
Well, he's just so real. Also, he just talks. Pardon the pun. Yeah, real. He's just real. He just talk. But the things that comes out of his mouth is. He's funny. He's one of those guys. Right. I just laugh at whatever he's saying.
You gotta.
So when is the moment now? You gone on tour with them now. Do you get a call like, hey, we want to put you on the team, or how does that kind of play out?
I think it was when they gave me my first real ad. They were like, surprise, like another
surprise.
Oh.
We're just gonna surprise you your whole time on this
First
team.
surprise.
Sorry, Dub.
That was the first
No,
surprise.
Come on, dude. So we're sorry.
That was the
dude.
first one.
We're talking multiple surprises
Multiple
here.
surprises here. Jeez.
So you
Yeah.
they just gave you an ad and said surprise. You're
Yeah.
on the squad.
Yeah. And like I had already been on, I think I was on 2 more trips after that SF trip. So I went to Seattle and Minnesota, and then I flew to SF. They were like, "Oh, we need to do something in SF," and then they were like, "Surprise!" And I was like, "Whoa!"
What was the ad?
It was me doing an invert. Yes, me doing an invert at Potrero.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Who? Do you remember who shot it?
Yeah, Gabe Mulford.
Gabe Morford.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah,
Gabe's the man.
Man, that's amazing.
he is the man. I love Gabe. Yeah.
Double page spread.
Double page spread.
okay,
I know. I
okay.
was
That's a good
stoked.
feeling right there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was so crazy.
Damn.
That's hard to get these days. You don't. There's not too many. You know what I mean?
It's not too many pages.
Yeah,
It's
there's
not
not
too-
too many mags to be having double pages
Yeah.
here.
For real.
Taking up space out here. No.
Damn.
Hell
That's
yeah.
awesome. So you're on the team now. I mean, that's great. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, just to be a part of something. You went like a year and a half without that.
Yeah.
It's just a good feeling because I think as a skater, like you want to be a part of a company. You want to be a
Yes.
part of that. I mean, like you've been on Nike for a while now too. So that must be rad.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Going on all those tours too, right?
Yeah, it's been really awesome. I love being on Nike. It's been really great.
How did that happen?
That happened through kind of like a house. So like I was sponsored by this board shop called the House Board Shop in Minnesota, and they had a rep there, and like I'd been wearing Nike shoes since I was a kid. Like I have footage of me in like Nike Dunks. Like
Amazing.
Yeah, like OG, like always loved Nike. So the rep there like reached out to Sinclair, I think in like 2017. So I started getting float shoes. And then I had an agent at the time, and I had just like one combi, and then did vert attack. And then I was like, hey, I'm going up to Oregon. I was going up to Oregon for, I think it was Skate Like a Girl, actually.
That was
Full
it.
circle.
Okay.
I went up to Oregon for Skate Like a Girl, and I reached out to my agent. I said, hey, I'm going up to Oregon. If Nike wants to meet me, you know, like let them know.
I love
And
that.
she's like, called me. She's like, they came back with an offer. And I was like,
Ooh.
what?
Are you
Before you even went up there?
Yeah, because I guess like I don't know, Casper had known me, or somehow they had like
Nice.
maybe like
You're on
kinda
their
just
radar,
researched
obviously,
me,
yeah.
or something, and they were like, oh, let's get her on. So yeah, it was crazy.
So sick.
Yeah, so then I was like on Nike all of a sudden, and I was just like, whoa. And then 2018 was like a good year for all that, and
I love the fact that you had that, you know, tenacity. Is that the right word? I don't know. To be like, hey, I'm going up there. If they want to meet
She was,
me
like,
and
proactive to do so,
go to the
yeah.
HQ, like I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Like that. And you had an agent at that time too? Like, well,
Yeah.
why were you doing it? What was going on with the agent
I
part?
just got one just because the Olympics, I was like about to do the Olympics, was just
okay.
like announced to the first team, whatever, and I was like, I should get like an agent.
Some type of
like,
representation or
do
something.
And was this an agent that like worked in skating, or is it just like an actual sports
No,
agent?
they worked in the Olympic space,
Ah.
which made sense for me at the time, but it didn't. I don't work with them anymore.
Okay.
They're really awesome. They know the Olympic space so well, but like early on, I kind of knew, like I started to figure out like, oh, I don't really like fit into the Olympic space that much. Like I actually want to do like more broad things. Like I don't want to just be sponsored by milk during the Olympics or something. You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
you.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think they could really see like my vision of like who I wanted to be and what I wanted to actually do. I think they were just like, you win contests and you get like the basic sponsorships from the Olympics, and like
Right.
they had like their formula for the Olympics and how it worked, but I was like, that's not gonna really work for me, A, because I'm not winning anything, and B, because I'm probably not gonna go to the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, they're like, well, why don't you want a
Yeah.
whatever sponsor it is,
Right.
you know? And you're like, well, that doesn't really fit into what I'm, and they don't understand that.
Right.
They're
They
like, what do you
didn't
mean you
understand-
don't want a Brillo pad, you know, cleaning solution
Yeah.
thing?
Team
Yeah.
Subway.
You know what I mean?
Team
Yeah.
Subway.
With milk? I mean, did you ride for milk?
No,
You didn't.
I didn't.
Could
But
they-
I love milk. but maybe now.
Just throwing it
wanna
out
holler,
there.
yeah.
Do they sponsor like that? I thought they did
They
it per,
did.
per campaign, I thought.
Well, Mario McCoy. Mario
Mario
McCoy.
he
Yeah,
did say that.
And then who else was on there?
crazy.
A lot of people work. Christian Asoy
Oh yeah.
was on Milk. Dude,
Tom Asa?
Tom Asa.
Oh, yeah,
Thomas Starr.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Wait, have you heard anything about vert going into the Olympics?
A little bit. I think hopefully it eventually happens, but I think it's kind of a hard, from what I understand, if vert is going to go into the Olympics, they have to take a medal from something else.
Oh.
Because there's only so many medals, like, across the board, right?
Yeah.
So then, like,
Sorry, Carolyn.
they had to, like, take out, I think, sports for skateboarding already. And I don't know.
Really?
I think so. They had to take medals from maybe because
I want to know what sport they ditched for skateboarding.
or maybe
They
not
added-
a sport, but like every sport has so many medals already. You're like, you know, because running there's like the 400 and the 200, so maybe they took like a medal from there or something. I think that's how it works. I don't quote me, but yeah, I don't know. I know Tony's really trying to get.
I think it makes the
vert in.
most sense out of anything.
I think it does
1000%.
too. I think that's just where the park thing got in, and it kind of confused people who didn't understand.
Right.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, the ball just got kind of lost
Gotcha.
around, and
It should be, in my opinion, vert and street.
Yes,
yeah,
that's it.
I agree. Honestly, yeah. I mean,
100%.
park's hard. It's such a new discipline. It's kind of, I don't know. It's fun to watch, but
For sure.
when they make the park so complex that people are just like carving or doing something simple on the bank and then doing nose blunt, like it takes away from it. Where vert is like just back and forth,
Right.
like gnarly.
And it's
tricks you can
exciting to
do.
watch.
Yeah, it's
I love watching it.
way
We should
more
remove
exciting.
shooting from the Olympics.
Shooting?
Shooting.
Yeah,
Shooting.
it's gone.
Skeet shooting.
What about sailing? Raj pulled up a whole
Or
bunch.
there's like
badminton. Let's get rid of
kneeling
badminton.
volleyball.
Let's get rid of badminton.
Badminton. There's some weird like kneeling volleyball, sand volleyball.
Wait,
or
wait,
something.
wait.
Yeah, there's some weird
They
sports.
kneel
They like
and they hit the ball over
Yeah,
the net.
something
How do they
weird.
run?
I don't know. It's something
They
weird.
just-
I'm just
Yeah,
I'm
later-
just telling you what I've heard.
How does someone even start doing that? Like start
Isn't
playing?
that funny?
Yeah, it's
It's
very.
all those sports.
Okay,
are
everybody,
kind of-
let's just kneel. Let's try this out. And it's like,
That ha-
dude, this is really
I
good.
know.
That has to be like in there for like decades or something like that.
Yeah, it's
it
weird
has to be
shit.
in there.
Is pickleball in there?
It's
Pickleball?
about to
Yeah.
be.
It's about
I know
to
that
be
shit
for
is
sure.
so
Pickleball
like
is-
people are loving that
My
shit.
dad loves pickleball.
It's
My God.
insane.
He's looking for a doubles partner. I'll say it.
He's looking for dribbles.
Super serious about
put it out there.
He's trying to, yeah.
My mom's super into it. Yeah.
God.
There's so many people. I mean, that's fun. I
What's
guess.
the difference between pickleball and paddleball?
I don't know if I've ever played paddleball.
I think it's the same. They're somewhat similar. I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no,
Look it up.
you got a point.
I mean,
Paddleball, you're usually playing in the sand, like just hitting it back and
Not
forth,
like
right?
that. There's literally I don't know. We'll have to
there's
look
an
it up.
an actual paddleball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess pickleball was invented. My dad just told me this. Invented in 1964, so it's been around for a while.
been around.
But like just
Just in the last couple
just
years,
yeah,
it's got
just
some
like
heat behind it.
yeah, just like hitting. Now everyone's playing pickleball.
Yeah.
Everyone 45 and up is playing.
There you go. This is true.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think vert is it's a no-brainer. But
Yeah.
what did we hear before, Kelly? That like if they wanted to do vert in the Olympics, it wouldn't be in like the next one. It'd be in the next one after that or something.
2028.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why does it take so long? Like, what is going on here? You just build a vert ramp and give them people medals. Like,
Well, like she's saying, like there's got to be like you're taking away from something to add something, right?
Right.
And
so they take away the bowl and they put in the half pipe.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what they're going to end up doing.
Yeah.
But there's so many like
there's
technicalities with the
it's so
Olympics in
weird.
that space. It's
So
like
weird.
we honestly don't fit into it.
We need to go with like
Would
band
they-
style.
No.
We do not fit into it, but we're making it work, and I'm sure they'll have vert in there. I mean, it's cheaper too because wasn't even a park contest. There's like way less park contests than street because it's like who's gonna pay for a park to be built?
Right.
Who's gonna
Right.
like or just pay the money to even host it at a park they already have? Like it's just. I don't know. Vert ramp's way easier and simpler
Yeah.
for sure.
And I mean, it's like Tony Hawk's vert ramp is supposedly the best vert ramp.
Perfect.
It's
Yeah.
perfect. That's
Yeah.
what we hear. And it's collapsible. You could like take it apart and
Yeah.
put it somewhere else.
Exactly.
It's like very easily maintained.
Yeah, it must be. I know it's complex, but it must be really complex to
Right.
get it in there because Tony would be like donate his ramp for them
sure.
to use.
Yeah,
probably
that
he
would've
would.
been-
He's probably doing the most to try to like
For sure.
get it in there. I think he probably wants to be like the oldest medalist.
Yeah.
I actually think he does. He probably could do it.
That would be
I mean,
awesome.
he has a good
Yeah.
shot of it,
Fuck
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, he really
Who is
does.
the oldest
people-
medalist at the moment? Do we know?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
Like in
Because
the
it's-
world?
Because look, if he's trying to go for the oldest person in the Olympics to actually get a medal, like
Oh.
what age is that? You know what I mean? Is it going to be
Yeah.
in your 50s? Like that's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, it must be like a curler or something.
Yeah.
It have to be
Right.
like some,
Something
like,
low impact.
Yeah.
impact
Very
sport.
obscure. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he could do it. He's unreal, honestly.
We believe in Tony. Come on. Man.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
All day.
Okay, here we go. Oldest ever Olympian is Oscar Swan of Sweden. He was 72 years old.
Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to get that.
281 days. 281 days old when he competed at the 1920 Olympics in shooting. He also qualified for the 1924 Olympics, but withdrew without competing.
All right, let's get rid of shooting already.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll get that one out. Put the vert in, then it'll be like shooting.
Tony's got a couple more years to
Yeah.
go before he can be the oldest
Yeah.
Olympian.
Oh my gosh,
Nope,
I
that's
had no
gonna work
idea.
out.
They gotta I'll give it to him either way. Though. In my mind, he'll be the oldest Olympian.
Yeah.
It's like, my God,
Oh
to
my
do
God.
that
No
and
doubt.
on a board is insane.
For sure.
Jeez. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. That's the Olympics thing.
Yeah, thankfully it's like not the end all be all for skateboarding.
Oh,
That's
100%.
We have such a big ecosystem, and it's
Big
like
time.
Yeah.
we're doing them a favor, honestly, by participating.
sure.
I like your attitude.
Yeah.
I like your attitude. That's amazing.
It's
Straight
cool.
up.
It's really cool to see skateboarding get as big as it is, right? I don't know. Back then it was so small and everything. Now it's like the Olympics. Like we would have never have guessed that when we started skating,
Right.
Yeah.
for sure. But
Oh,
I
it
can't
wasn't
imagine.
even fathomable.
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 I've heard it. And
It's look it up in the dictionary. It's how you spell it.
It's there.
Yeah. I need to talk to you about this because I
Let's do it.
love this event. I've always wanted to go to this event. I've never been to this event. Dime Glory
Oh,
Challenge.
Dime Glory Challenge. It was my first time at the event, too.
You
sick.
killed it.
Thank you.
So
Thank
sick.
you.
How
Yeah.
was skating that
Crazy.
the rainbow rail thing?
Scary.
Was it
Really
scary?
scary. After I did it, I was like,
You
I will never do
slammed
that again.
so
Yeah, I
fucking
did.
hard.
I didn't even I did. Yeah, I don't know, but I kind of when you're so into a trick, it was almost like I was like filming like at a spot or something. I didn't even know that the people were watching me. I think
Okay.
at one, I look back on it, I slammed my board after I hit my head maybe or something, and then I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that in front of all those people. I just obviously didn't even really realize what was happening. I was just
You
I need
blacked
to
out.
land it. I need to
Yeah.
land this.
And you were wearing the glasses and everything. I feel like I would have taken
that was
those
the
off.
rules.
That was
That's
that
what they said. So I was like, I'm gonna.
I didn't
I know,
realize
but
that.
not everyone did it, obviously,
I was
which
good,
is
yeah.
probably smart. I just
you were in
Not
it.
me,
You
I
were
was
in
like-
it.
Partook that shit.
but yeah, I was stoked to do it. I can't believe they went up to 7. I mean, I did it at 4, and a bunch of dudes did it
Even
at
at
7.
4, it looked huge.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to strap it.
Yeah.
Breezy ran up to me and she was like, "If you do this, you'll never you won't have to skate the rest of the year."
Yeah, seriously, right?
I was like, "All right,
She's so
Breezy, I'm
funny.
holding you to that."
So they did 4, 5, 6, 7. They kept going up.
Yeah.
When they did 4, you did 4, right? We're talking about the height or how many bars there were.
Right.
Did you want to try the 5, 6, 7?
I thought about it, but then I was like, risk versus reward.
Yeah, because
There you
you
go.
And
did
just
it once.
long term,
Yeah, you
Like-
did it once though. You kind of know what to expect. It's just a little higher.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's just a little higher. It's just
steeper?
you're going at so fast,
Right.
and I don't skate rail, so my lock in Stee isn't as good as everyone's else, right? So
Oh,
I'm
man.
getting on the rainbow rail, kind of sketchy. I'm figuring it out, but
that
it's
definitely
not
is.
in my I don't know how to lock onto a rail like that. So
Right.
it
like
was,
the cross lock.
I was
thing.
already kind of out of my league, which I usually am out of my league.
What do you mean? Come on.
But I don't know. I was like 4 is good enough.
You're good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Straight up.
Good.
This is it right here though. We got the
Oh, we got the footy.
ooh,
Yeah,
that's
oh.
wait, you slammed a couple times though.
4 times, I feel like.
I love the hypeness there.
Yeah,
Everybody's
I know.
hyped. They're in such a good mood.
Those glasses. Those are.
I know. Look at that.
That one, I wasn't sure. I was like, am I okay? And then I was like, I'm fine.
Dang.
That was a little bus up.
And then just the energy from the crowd.
Yeah, they were behind me. It was cool. They like, I don't know, because they move through the challenges really quickly. They're like, all right, you got one try at it. We're going to bring the next thing in.
Well, this is actually what I was wondering how they did it. And they had it down to a science where they would just
remove
they
put it in and take it, just keep adding to it.
Prefab.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, they
Look at that.
had it like
they slide it right
wild.
in.
Look at that.
So sick.
It was like in the matter of minutes, they had another layer to it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was.
You could have done that.
So how did you even warm up?
I think I could
You
have, but
could have.
Did it start at 1 or?
yeah, it started at 1. Like when we first got there, they just had like one. Like everyone was just skating the bump to bar, and then the little rainbow rail, the first
Look
one.
at
Yeah.
that shot.
And then like they let us do the 1, then they had the 2. Like it all happened really fast, and all of a sudden I did the 3, and I was like, okay, that was like kind of scary. And then the 4 came, and I was like, do I want to do this? Do I want to like start down this path? And then I was like, and then I did, and I was like, well, I guess I.
Dude, that is so sick right
But
there.
I was stoked. I did it, and
That seems like it's such a
over.
rad feeling too.
yeah, it was.
Like, when are you ever going to skate something like that?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, like it was sick.
Look at that.
It was
amazing.
the crowd was so hyped too. I was like, gotta love the hype.
Yeah, that
gotta
energy
love
is
the
infectious,
Montreal.
man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what-
exactly. It's just
Yeah,
like-
the hype is what
what drives you to do it.
drives you.
I mean,
Great
I
location,
probably
too.
would have done it anyways, but because that's just like, but that's like a skater mentality thing, anyways. Like you're just like, oh, I have to like do it
For sure.
for no reason for myself.
Yeah, I'm the biggest fan of the Dime. Just the way that they hold their contests, and it's like an event more or less. But
Yeah.
remember when the COVID was going on and they just did the ice thing? They
Yeah,
just
that
filmed it
was
with an
so-
Yeah,
iPhone.
yeah.
Even that to me, I'm like, rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so fun to watch.
It's like I would really recommend going to it.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
I need to go back. I need to go.
I need
I
to
was
go.
just saying that too.
I
I-
need to go back.
Some kid, I think he hit me up on Instagram. You got to come to the. I was like, dude, if they invite me, I'm going. Like, there's no way
Like,
I'm not
I'm
gonna
just
go.
waiting.
The thing is, you don't need to get invited.
Well, then maybe I'll just go.
Yeah, you could just.
If the Dub shows up, they'll let you in.
They'll let me in, right?
Yeah,
Because you can
All
buy
right.
tickets. They're not inviting everyone in the crowd there.
That's true. That's very true.
Get some tickets.
Oh, you got to
Yeah.
buy tickets to go there?
I
I'm
would.
sure you
yeah,
guys fill the
the
seats.
crowd. Yeah.
The crowd. Okay.
Hey, going back to the Olympics, whatever, like that's at the old 1976 Summer Olympic Stadium.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
that
the
was.
Dime. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
where it
in the
was held.
parking lot
Yeah.
of the Olympic Stadium. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Olympics, take notes and do this.
Right. Yeah, I know. Right. See how much more
Could you
sense it makes?
imagine if Dime was the
orchestrator behind
yeah.
the orchestrator behind the Olympics?
Oh, I would
That
have
would be
went.
the
I would have
most
went for
watched
5
thing
for
ever.
sure.
Fuck yeah.
That's so,
Especially from the core aspect, people would be like,
General
what the
public would
fuck?
not know
Right.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but they would love it.
But yeah, I think it would. I think it would work.
They would love it.
I mean, that's what they need. They need.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the Olympics brought us into the Olympics.
The Olympics needs rainbows and fire.
Right. We need more.
Fire.
We need
Volcanoes.
hats with flames on it and glasses that we can't see
glasses.
out of.
They got that with the Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Hug Jam, right?
We need speed.
Right.
So now this is a little bit different, and it still has that crazy energy hype factor behind
Right.
it.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was really fun. I was stoked on it.
So I want to talk about the real part that you dropped. Welcome. Real presents Nicole Hause.
Nicole Hause.
Hause.
Nicole Hause. Yeah. Let's just send it. My name's
Let's-
Nicole
okay,
Hause.
okay.
Yeah, there we
sorry,
go.
My name's
sorry.
Nicole
Just-
Hause.
There we go. There we
I'm not
go.
gonna- okay.
Don't be
But it's
scared
spelled
anymore.
Hause.
Okay, I won't try to. I'm not gonna. Okay, Nicole Hause.
Yes.
What was it like filming for that part? Were you did you go into it knowing like you're gonna film a part for them, or did you have footage kind of stacked up?
I mean, like I'd been filming with Tim and them on all the trips, and it was kind of gonna go into Ashad was gonna do a video, and there's gonna be like some of us involved in the video too. But then that didn't happen, and it kind of kept getting pushed back. Then I was gonna be with Gage and Tanner. It was gonna be a video. Then they eventually was just like my own part, which I thought was sick because I never had that opportunity. And
Rad.
sometimes my skating, I feel like too, is like can kind of clash with street skating. I don't know, like It's just different.
But
so
you had
it's
street
like
clips. I mean, you were you
there's
had
some
like
street
a
clips.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, dude.
You
either
did-
way,
you
I
did
was
the-
stoked.
The hippie jump.
Yeah, I was gonna
over-
say.
that spot is horrible.
Yeah.
Did you get there? Did you get
Absolute
there? It
worst.
was just like, what?
Oh,
I
this
got to
is
do
gross.
something here. Like, what made you want that spot is horrendous.
That spot is horrendous. I actually didn't know how horrendous it was. I just had like I saw Oski ollie melon grab over into it in
Yeah.
his part, and I was like, oh my god, I want to hippie jump that spot. Like that was before I even moved to LA. I just like had it in my mind I wanted to hippie jump it, and then I went there and I was like, this is the worst bank
It's
like,
horrible.
thing ever. Like, yeah, but I was like, I don't know. This is what I want to do, so I just started trying it. Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
it was it's definitely gnarly the first time we went there. It was like a bunch of holes like everywhere. Didn't have any bondo. Like I would like get down like most of the way to the bank and it would like grab my wheel, and I would like almost do that thing where you like go back. Like I could like feel it, and then I think I tried it for like a couple hours and I couldn't lift my legs anymore. I couldn't like jump anymore off my
That's
board.
how long you were going
yeah,
at it. Yeah.
and then I like ended up coming back for it, but
So you went back a couple times.
yeah.
I mean, after
my
the
second
first
I
time,
got it.
I mean, I know you had it in your mind from even before you moved here
Yeah.
to skate that spot. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, even once you go there the first time and you're like, yeah, this
Yeah.
spot is just
So did you bond to it more?
horrible.
Yeah, so we actually bondoed it the second time, and like where everyone does tricks into the hip or from the hip, that side it was like really crusty there, and like originally that's where I pictured myself like hippie jumping going down there, but then I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to thread the needle, and like
Yeah.
actually was like in a weird way easier for me to get off when it was higher up. I don't know why.
Well, I actually like
But-
that you did it all the way over there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that drop is part of the trick.
Yeah, yeah.
know?
And like for me, I just like I'm better at stuff that's like bigger, and like I have more time to like think, and I don't know. It's more fun for me too. Sometimes if I do stuff on small stuff, I just doesn't really feel good to me. I'm just
Right.
like I like air and things and all that. So I just was like stoked to do it on that far side.
Yeah.
And, like,
Nice.
It was, you killed it.
Yeah,
You got
that-
the
But-
clip right here. I mean, that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was hyped. And the curb. The thing was, I was.
Well, you were
hyped.
hyped because you kept pushing. Where are you going?
Pushing downhill.
I got places to be.
You got,
Yeah.
you got things to do.
Oh, the curb is a challenge too.
Yeah,
Hell
the
yeah.
curb. I landed it maybe like 3 times and fell off on the curb.
Oh, really?
Like,
But the way you're skating, it makes it harder to roll away, in my opinion, because when you skate in the hip, you're coming down it sideways, so you can like land on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
chill,
Right.
and then come off. That you're just getting thrown right to the curb.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. I kept like getting thrown like to where the curb was ending, so it was kind of like I was like, it was
Like deck checking,
yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
So it was like the first time I went there. There's definitely been a few times where I'm like, I don't even like realize what's happening. And then after I get home, I'm like, look at me. Like I'm like bloody and just like broken down, like can't walk for a couple of days. And then I'm just like, what am I doing to myself? But then I don't know. It's all worth it.
It's
Yeah.
all worth
That's
it, for
skateboarding
sure.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
Like,
you're in you're hard in the paint for a while, and it can definitely affect your body.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like lifting your legs up. You know.
Yeah.
I remember just pushing towards something for like 2 hours, and then like, dude, my legs are done.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
can't
I
happen
can't do it anymore.
Did you paint the Bondo black?
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I
Tim.
was thinking.
Tim
Nice.
spray
Oh,
painted
good
it.
job, Tim.
Yeah, yeah.
Busted
Sorry,
Tim.
letting out all our secrets.
No.
No,
That
because
spot-
like,
No.
yeah.
That spot
But
is.
you had to bondo it. Like,
Right,
I was
yeah.
just like,
Yeah, it's been bondoed so many times.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
insane. That's
Yeah.
the thing that is so gnarly about that spot is when you do your trick, there's something way gnarlier after than landing the trick.
Yeah. Right.
Like you do the trick on the hip or over the bar, or like you have to like, oh, this is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Is this riding away?
holding on.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's fun to know when you've actually been to a spot. It's kind of fun to know like what, because like anybody that's watching that, like it's a gnarly trick, but they don't know.
How shitty this spot is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't know. Like it is horrible.
Yeah.
I love that. I love when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this trick at that spot." You're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, let's go."
That is great. Yeah.
Let's
I
go
love
check it out. Let's go check it
Let's
out.
go,
we'll-
big
we'll
shot.
cruise
Let's
You
go.
got
by.
Mondo.
For
Totally.
sure. Yeah, it's
got
always
cruiser wheels?
deceiving.
So how long were you? Did you work on that part?
About a year little over a year.
Okay.
But did have a lot of injuries in the mix of it, so wasn't quite like I didn't have all my dreams fulfilled, but it's all good, you know.
What kind of injuries
There's
are we
more.
talking about?
I wanted more for myself. I wanted more.
Yeah. But we always do that.
We always do,
you know,
exactly.
It's never enough.
It's never enough, yeah. So there's like a few things I left behind, but I'm very excited for this next part. Like I'm already I'm already like it's gonna be better. And
Are we already getting clips for it or what?
Sure.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think one clip's gonna be used in the newest video, but
Gotcha.
I did film a clip recently with Tim, and yeah, no, I'm ready. Also Nike's working on something, so I do have some clips stacked up with them that I'm actually hyped on some of those clips too.
Sick.
So I actually forgot about those. So.
It's very important to be hyped on clips.
Yeah,
you know?
It's so important.
But at the end of the day, too, sometimes the clips that you're not, this is the weirdest part. The clips that you're not exactly hyped on are the clips that people talk about the most sometimes.
Right.
You know? And it's like the clips that are just like, this is the best clip ever. And then nobody says anything about it. You're like,
no,
what is going on here?
Right.
You know? But, you know,
Never
it is
know.
what it is. So we got a Nike thing going on. Okay. And we got the new part. Is this going to be like a Thrasher part or another real part? We don't know yet.
We don't know. I don't know, honestly. Whatever happens when it's all coming
It'll work
together.
out, yeah.
Yeah.
It comes together in the end. What about the music? Do you have a choice in the music?
Yeah. We had a whole thing with the
Okay.
music.
What
No,
happened?
I'm just kidding. It's good.
Music's a big thing. I mean,
It is a big thing. Yeah, for me, I think like my next part personally, I'm gonna like. It was my first time like having my own part and getting the option to choose my music, which I didn't know how to do that or what to do that with, you know. Like I personally listen to a lot of like hip hop, rap, and like that doesn't really translate with my skating. So I was like, I don't know, I was looking more like alternative rock and was able to like find some stuff that's like slower, like but also has fast pickups and points. So I don't know. My next part, I think I'm gonna try to like pick a few songs and then kind of like adapt some things to work with the song. In a way.
Yeah.
That's a good move. A lot of people, I think Jamie Thomas would choose a song before he even started filming for a part.
Right.
And he would like formulate the whole part in his head before with the song before he even like put it together.
Yeah, that's what I've been actually meaning to ask people. Like you know, because I don't, it's like a new space for me. I've like competed for however many, 9 years, but this is my first time like really focusing on a part. So when the music and the editing, and I actually had more control than I've ever had. So I was like kind of didn't know what to do with it. It was just like overwhelmed, and it was kind of like deadlines and rushes, and I was just like so I'm excited the next one.
If you are a big hip hop and rap, like pull some of those songs aside that you think might really work.
Right. Yeah.
Because at least you have options. You know what I mean? Because this is something that you actually like.
Right.
Exactly. Then you're not that you're forced into using something that you might not like, but like it might not turn out the way that you envisioned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you could also start your folder of tricks and then play like 3 or 4 or 5 clips along with the song, so you can get kind of a feeling for it,
right?
And see like, oh no, that may not work, or may do. I don't know. It's hard in the beginning.
Yeah, I think that was fun to figure out though. I remember back then I would get my footage and start playing random songs.
Yeah.
And whatever went with it, you kind of get a better idea of what would work, you know?
Right.
Totally.
Yeah, it's a whole process. I was talking to Mason about it too. He's like, it's like, that's so important.
Yeah,
it's like
so
really important, and it's also so challenging at the same time, because you have like technically the hardest part done, right? All the footage, but then you're like, what song?
What?
Right.
Yeah,
but if you do, not to cut you off, but if you
please.
do entrust like in the person that's making the video,
yeah,
obviously like I've worked with Ty and Ty Evans and
Mesa,
Aaron Mesa and Colin Kennedy, where they're very like in tune with how video parts flow together with music and whatnot. So if you're working with somebody that really you have confidence in, then you don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah. No, Tim handled it, honestly. Yeah, like he knows what's up. I was just like in my own self, like trying to figure out the ropes, and it was like, I don't know. But next time I'm like, there will be no surprises. I won't be turning pro again. And, like, there won't be as much of a deadline, because that was like the part they're like, oh, we want to premiere it here. And so originally I thought I had more time to film the part, and then it was like, oh, it's coming out actually like in September, and it was August, and I was like, oh, I don't know. Like I was just like, you know how life goes.
What are some of the rap or hip hop you listen to right now?
Listen to Kendrick Lamar always.
Okay.
I'm kind of like still stuck in like 2012. I don't know with my rap.
Nothing wrong with that. That's
but yeah,
sure. There's a lot of whack shit out right now.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good shit.
I got really upset about mumble rapping. Like I really got upset about it.
A lot of people did.
I mean, a lot of people did.
I could have killed it with that.
Yeah, Raj could have been
I could have been a superstar.
A couple face tattoos, Raj. Dyed your hair.
Yeah,
you could have been good.
Honestly, why not?
Spit some, Raj.
That's pretty good.
There it is.
Let's go to the tattoo parlor.
Yeah. So funny.
Can you imagine Raj with a big face tat?
Lil Raj?
I mean,
Lil Raj.
Lil Raj, 69? I don't know what he would do.
Dude, we recently shot Little Baby for sneaker shopping, and during this entire like interview, you could barely understand a word he said.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was insane.
Yeah.
Little baby.
Little baby. But yeah, those the mumble rap. Yeah, that was.
You know what's the coolest thing about music and skateboarding is like years later, people will hear that song like, oh, Nicole skated that. That's Nicole's song.
For sure.
Yeah,
that's one thing that's very true with music and skateboarding. Yeah.
You're like attached to it
for
forever.
sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So true.
Which is awesome. So we got Kendrick Lamar. Who else do we got? You said you're trapped in the early 2000s.
Like A$AP Rocky.
Okay.
Eminem. Top Dog Entertainment. Anyone? I don't know if you're familiar with them, but it's like Kendrick Lamar, SZA. Schoolboy Q, Absol, Isaiah Rashad. I love Isaiah Rashad.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know. Kodak Black. I've learned to like Kodak Black actually. His Baby Project's album was sick.
Yeah.
And now that at first I was like no, but then now like the past year I've been playing it a lot.
He's grown on you.
Yeah, he's grown on me for sure.
So
Roll in Peace, that song goes.
Is that like your go-to? Is like hip hop or rap or something?
Notice me, yeah.
You're not. What about Creedence? Creedence Clearwater. You're any Creedence going on in the car, going to get hyped on the? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
50 Cent. I love 50 Cent.
There you go.
I like. Sounds funny, but like I used to like my style. I wanted it to be like 50 Cent, like how I dressed, and I used to wear like
the fitted
hat. I wear a
hard.
fitted hat. Yeah, and I wore like big cargos, and just like I was always like 50 Cent was the guy. Like
because he came out like 2010. 2009 maybe?
No,
really?
It was earlier than that. Way before that. It was like 2004.
Oh yeah, right. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
Maybe 50, or 2003. I mean,
I'm tripping.
Yeah,
Up
I
in
was
the
off
club.
10 years.
But like
10 years.
that's
A long time.
You never know. Time's weird these days.
No doubt.
It's like
Good
not
God.
even real.
1000%.
How's like skating for Nike? You've been in a bunch of their projects and stuff. Like it seems like a dream sponsor. To be honest with you,
I would say that.
Yeah.
That classifies as my dream sponsor for sure. Yeah, it's great. I love doing anything I can with them, and you know, every project is really cool. Like I just love the dunks and the dunk shoots, and I don't know that they're such a big company, right? But skateboarding inside of it is like actually so small, and everyone who works there is really cool, and like I don't know, I really like you would think like, oh, it's so corporate, but it's actually like really doesn't feel like that when you're inside of it.
Because it's a division of skateboarding, which is like all skaters who are running it.
Yeah, and yet never, like, even when we're on a big shoot, I did like a Just Do It commercial for World Cup like a few years ago, and it's like someone's there like from skateboarding, like, does this feel authentic to you? Does it not? Like, we will tell them if it doesn't. Like, I don't know.
You have a voice.
Cool. You have a voice, and yeah, it's just like it can bring you really cool places and
totally.
Cool opportunities. Yeah, I love being with them and able to do anything.
What's it like when you're getting your boxes every month or whatever? Do you choose things or go online or a website or the Scuba or whoever to send you whatever?
Yeah, Scuba or whoever, the powers above, send it. Yeah, I don't actually know how it really works, but I think they just send.
But they know what you like to skate in.
Yeah, exactly. They're familiar. They like know who likes dunks, who doesn't, who rocks them. I feel like I always like wear them and post them, and so I feel like they are like, oh, Nicole should get some.
Do people
dunks.
ever trip out on the shoes you skate in sometimes? Like,
Yes. Sorry, that noise. I was like, who's?
Yeah, Roger.
Everyone thinks
Everybody looks at Kelly, but
I'm
yeah.
like sitting here, my mouth's not moving. You're like, what?
The mumble rapper back there.
Mumble rapping, Roger.
Lil Raj back there.
Lil Raj. What'd you say, Lil Raj?
No,
what did you say?
They trip on your shoes?
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, pretty often actually. I was skating in the. It was funny actually, like Shane O'Neill and like Jake Anderson and everyone was tripping on me at CPH Open. I was wearing the Para Friends and Families, and I was skating in them, and they're like, well, clearly, like, yada, 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 you're just, like, heckling me, you know, like, and then...
Like, you don't know how much those are, do you?
Yeah. I know. I was like, I don't. I never really looked... I just always rock the shoes.
Whatever you like, you're going to put on to wear.
That's
yeah,
dope.
so,
Yeah.
I don't know. Shane O'Neill was wearing the Travis Scotts, and I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, but they're not those. And I was like...
What are we talking about then? How much is
I think those might be $3,000.
Yeah.
I might be
Really?
wrong, but those might be $3,000.
Like, 2100, 2200. But maybe when they first came out, they were like $3,000.
Yeah.
They're really sick.
Wow,
Yeah.
those are dunks?
Yeah.
You're skating in
5,000.
$5,000?
There you go.
Damn.
$5,000.
Far fetched right now.
6.5. You got to go by size.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
shit,
You
yeah.
gotta go by size.
Those are probably a 10.
Oh, wait, by size?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a $4,900.
Okay.
Get 'em.
Yeah, there's a... Hi.
I mean,
Damn.
No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. They're definitely skated in. Definitely
That is weird.
thoroughly skated in.
It must be a weird feeling. You get them for free, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, like if you knew how much they were, it's got to be the weirdest feeling to be like, I am skating these $5,000 shoes that I'm just going to tear up and
Yeah.
just.
It's kind of, it
It's
is a crazy
weird.
concept. Yeah. I mean,
You don't save any of them?
I do save. I definitely am very like, I'm pretty methodical. I was telling Tim, like I have like different shelves and different things. And
Oh, you
some
do?
storage. Yeah.
she
yeah.
can only decipher how this works.
Now, how do you
You got a
decide?
savings account.
Yeah, how do you decide what you're saving or what you're rocking?
I guess based on how cool it is, or I don't know.
So you do have some kind of inclining of like how much these are worth, or
And now I do.
how popular they are.
Yeah, I would say in like the last like year and a half or
Okay,
so,
you got more into
like
it.
I was like, oh, I didn't even know.
Oh.
I guess I didn't really like. I've heard people talk about it, but I never looked into it myself. I guess,
Mm.
and I don't know. Most of the shoes I like. It's pretty rare that I get a pair that I don't like, so I usually want to rock them. But some I like so much that I still haven't rocked,
Yeah,
and they're
you
just
wanna-
like in the top shelf, like someday.
they're
That's a
top
collector.
shelf.
Like
You're
that-
somewhat of a soft shoe collector.
Yeah,
there,
I
you
would
know?
say
Yeah.
I'm a soft shoe collector is the right word.
I mean, you kind of gotta be.
yeah.
You kind of have
I
to
mean,
get
if
into
you're-
it a
if
little
you-
bit.
If you got Nike's your shoe sponsor, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
You're
gonna be
forced.
saving some of these. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, but you're a shoe guy,
Right,
right? So,
right.
but I mean, like, if you're not a shoe person at all, and you're sponsored by Nike, and they're sending you, it's almost like inevitable that you're gonna get into them a little bit and
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
research them and see what's going on with them. You kind of
Totally.
Yeah.
almost turn into a little sneaker head.
Yeah.
You know, you're right.
Without
That's-
even trying.
That's pretty much what happened to me,
Yeah.
I would say. Like, I always liked sneakers. I've always been, like, into my outfits and, like, everything like that. But, yeah, I think in the recent years, I'm like, oh. And I would say in the more, like, 2 years, there's been more dunks than ever. Like, more
Yeah.
colorways and more, like, now it's just, like, an overwhelming amount of dunks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I wonder, I'm sure it's going to phase out eventually. Like, it just hit this, like, peak during COVID.
It'll
where it's
slow
like-
down, I think, but it's
Yeah.
not. I don't think they'll ever take that shit away. It's
No.
just,
I mean,
that's
they
a
gotta, They're just gonna
staple.
control it to the point
Yeah.
where you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to ride like the influx and
Do you remember when they first came out with like in the skate world with dunks, the lines that would be at skate shops were unreal.
They still
Yeah.
yeah,
are.
and that's what's rad.
in business.
Yeah, that's what's rad about what Nike did with that shoe is that it gave a lot of money to the skate shops,
right.
and that was awesome.
Yeah, I think that I was
Wait,
putting
wait,
that
wait,
together too a few years ago, and I was like, that's so cool. It's like actually so grassroots of Nike if you think about it, like them giving the skate shop something and giving people to like have to go to skate shops to get is kind of next level. Like we need that.
Yeah.
We need that to keep them alive for sure.
For sure.
And yeah, just like even when kids are there buying shoes, I feel like they're gonna be inclined to, buy something else, or then they know about the skate shop, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked on how they're doing that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Are you? Let's talk about a pro dunk.
A pro dunk.
Or a
Let's talk
colorway.
about it.
Pro
Let's talk-
dunk.
Let's go.
Or a colorway. You know what I mean?
colorway. Yeah.
But I mean, could you
shooting
imagine?
for the
Could you
moon.
imagine having creative control over like making your own dunk? Be incredible.
I mean, I've dreamt about it. I've created
you-
my own dunk before.
I was gonna say if you knew what to, if they said tomorrow like, hey, we're gonna do your own dunk or colorway or whatever. Do you have in mind what you would do?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I mean, I definitely have like some stuff, like some ideas.
Okay.
I feel like when that time comes, I'll be in a different.
Sure.
When it actually is happening, who
Yeah.
knows what I would design? But I definitely too look at like all the shoes I have, all the shoes I like, and I like feel like I would really like use all the information that I've had and
Whatever
like,
inspires
seen.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like that I really like. Like I brought these. I really like these Air Jordan 1s.
Air
They made
Jordan,
them.
yeah.
They made them skatable.
Mm-hmm.
And then they changed colors.
They turned
That's
into
rad,
the Jordan, his first colorway, right? I think, but
Can you pull?
Yeah.
I can't see him from here.
because they turn into the
those
red
ones.
and black,
Yeah.
like, old school like colorway.
Yeah, so it goes from Laker to Chicago.
Yeah,
is their
that's
is
it.
their thing.
Oh,
So then
yeah.
so these are like.
Wait, so why are those all red and those? Did
so
you peel
these were
those?
purple, but then I just took rubbing
Oh,
alcohol.
Yeah, you put rubbing
just-
alcohol
Okay.
and it takes it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
But it's rad though, because when you skate them, it
comes
comes
out
through,
naturally,
which is
yeah.
rad.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
It's a good
I
one.
love these shoes. Like
Those are-
great board feel, everything.
Do they still make those for skate?
I don't think so, but it was kind of like a one-time thing. It felt like, that's why I've like really skated. I mean, like those are kind of blown out, but I still love
I
them.
feel like
Yeah,
back
those
in
are
the
good.
day, a lot of people used to rock those. For
Yeah, those are
skating.
the
Yeah.
go-tos.
It's like-
for
I don't
sure.
Yeah.
understand why they wouldn't like the dunk, right? It's
Yeah.
like why wouldn't they implement that into the skate line?
It might be Jordan's decision, right?
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
be something
Ultimately.
with Jordan. Yeah.
Jordan don't want skate shoes.
Well, he did it.
I know, but
He just
let's
does
keep
it.
doing
He
it.
does it
Needs
very
more.
tasteful. It's not like
Yeah.
he's like blowing it. He makes it
Right.
special. You know?
I
Yeah.
know, but those are
MJ.
dope.
They're super dope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what everybody skated like. I remember in Police Academy, they had like part 3. They had like a little skate section and like Lance Mountain, Steve Caballero, they all had fucking this shoe on. You
Yeah.
know? So it was like it made an impact and impression very early on, before, we were even tripping on shoes.
Right.
Dude, Jordan brand. I was watching a baseball game the other day, and I can't remember who was pitching. They had Jordan logo. It's like him dunking the ball, but just playing baseball. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
how big that has gone.
That brand, yeah.
has gone in
For
different
sure.
sports. So it's pretty
Yeah.
wild.
It's expanded.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'm hoping that you get your own pro model
you.
or colorway.
I'm
The
hoping so,
colorways are
too.
big right now, but
Hoping so,
let's
too.
do it. Let's get this. I'm going to start the campaign.
Yeah, start the.
How do I do that?
We start right
I don't
here.
Who do
know.
I talk to?
What do we?
I think you start a hashtag.
No, that's not. No.
No, you
I'm
started
more of
there.
like an in-person guy. I'll go up there.
Yeah.
And talk to
Take a flight. And,
whoever I need to talk to. Jordan? Do I? No,
Yeah.
no, that's the other shoe.
You've done this quite a
He
bit.
could probably pull some.
I'm just
pull some
down to help.
strings.
You took the initiative, right?
Right down to help.
Do you want to be my manager?
Yes, 100%.
Or
She needs a
so-
new agent.
100%.
Looking
will-
for a new agent.
I will make it happen
Yes.
for you. Yes.
Let's go.
We're gonna
I'm
do
down.
it.
Wait,
We're
so
gonna
wait, the
create
old
something.
agent got you the Nike deal, and then later to the agent.
Yeah, I mean, see, this is where I don't really. I feel like I built the connection with Nike.
There you go.
Like
For
I
sure.
I was already getting shoes from Mike, and also I asked her to ask them.
Right.
So if
you
she-
set her up for success.
And then didn't really have to do much else
Right.
after that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they did obviously, but
I love the initiative. I love
Yeah,
it. A lot
I
of
love
skaters
that.
are like scared to ask somebody for
Rejection.
something.
Mhm.
And I always go back to, when Lance Mountain was on our show, like he called up Nike and asked if he could ride for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if Lance Mountain can do it, anybody out there can call up anybody and just ask.
Yeah.
Because
No.
the worst is, you know what I mean though?
No,
Yes.
dude.
No,
if
yes.
you're a kid, whatever. But like, if you're a kid trying to come into skateboarding, you're not gonna be like, "Hey, could I get on the team?"
No. You're missing. We're talking like Lance Mountain. So like, say somebody that's established already, right?
Yes, you
it's
can
like,
do that.
Make a call. Like, don't be scared to ask Like, hey, I want to skate for Nike. Who do I need to talk to over there? Let me try to get in, whatever. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Right. It's fine. But I think a lot of skaters don't take that initiative.
Yes.
Right.
They wait for maybe them to approach them.
Right.
You know, and it's like, it's
never really happens.
It's not going to pan
honestly,
out.
Yeah. The truth of it is, even if they're giving you, like, I was getting flowed shoes, but, like, even if they're giving you shoes, they're not going to just one day be like, hey, we want to pay you now.
Exactly.
Like, you have to, like, ask. You have to ask for almost everything.
You got to, like, let the skating do the talking, but then
Right.
also have that line of communication where you're not scared to be like, hey, what's up?
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm down. Are you guys down? What's good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got to just... Yeah.
Not any kid
That's
out
right.
there.
You're like,
What
What do you
anyone's like,
mean? Little Johnny from Minnesota.
Don't let that discourage like
Yeah.
someone that has talent to like really again be proactive on trying to make shit happen on themselves. You know,
Well, if they're putting in the work too, there's going to be that conversation that has to come down the line, right? Like, hey, I've been repping, I've been sending you footage, I'm getting this coverage.
Yes.
Like, is there anything here we could do going forward?
Right. But there's also the people that are not getting stuff already. You know,
Yeah.
they're like maybe in limbo or something. It's
Right.
like, yo, reach out. You know, everybody's scared of rejection.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
dude, it's skating, dude. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's either gonna get it or you're not. You know.
And at the end of the day, like, everyone's long lifespans, you don't, like, no one hyper focuses on any of those moments, right? Like, not even yourself, or no one's gonna, like, think you're silly for, like, asking
Right,
for something. They're
right.
just gonna be like, no, and then they're never gonna probably think about it again.
Totally.
Unless you bring it up again. So
Yeah.
like
I
you're
don't know.
looking forward to like you ask them and they're like, no way, you cannot get on this team. Like,
You're ridiculous.
And then they're
Yeah,
like,
you're ridiculous.
why would you even ask?
They're not gonna also then, like, leave and, like, talk about how you asked.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yeah.
They start telling their friends. And
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
No one cares that much.
It's
I
gonna
hate to
leak.
break it
It's gonna leak on Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Chris Roberts asked New Balance if he could. What
Yeah.
an idiot. You know, it's like, come on.
For sure.
What's up with your nickname,
My nickname, Dicky.
Dicky? What is going on with that? How did that nickname come about?
Gosh. Just like over the course of a couple of years, it started out like I went on this road trip during COVID with my friend Jill and Katie, and like we were kind of like coming up with road trip names. We drove up the 101, and I don't know why my name was. They kept calling me Nikki all of a sudden. Like, it's funny because it goes full circle. When I was a kid, I like wanted to be called Nikki, I guess, in school. And so my mom picked me up from school one day, and they were like, Nikki, and my mom's like, who's Nikki? And they're like, she said she wants to be called Nikki. And then my mom's like, oh, okay.
News to us.
Wow, I had no idea. So anyways, then like they just naturally started calling me Nikki, and I was like, word. They're like, Nikki, like, let's go.
Okay.
And then we were on the road trip, and for some reason, like, my friend's name's Jill, and then I started calling her Dill, and then she started calling me Dicky, and then our other friend, whose name was Katie, we just called her Doug. And then, it was just us
Where you
three.
couldn't find a rhyme, couldn't find a word for her, so it's just Doug.
Dill, Dicky, and Doug. Like,
Oh
it
my
can't get much
God.
better than that. So, I don't know, it just started from that, and then I feel like a lot of people are just like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I guess
Why?
if you know, like, if you get to know my personality, like, maybe outside, like, I don't know, more everyday life, I'm like kind of fit the name Dicky, because I'm just kind of like, I don't know,
Okay.
kind of like chaotic and like running around and jumping off things. And
Were your friends that you went on this road trip with skaters?
they skate, but
Okay.
also pro snowboarders. So Jill
Okay.
Perkins is a pro snowboarder, and Katie, I would consider.
Doug, you mean?
Doug
Yeah.
is soon to be a pro.
Okay. Because I was just wondering, like, how it went from like friends to an actual like nickname in skating.
Right, yeah.
Like,
So
how did that cross over?
then Nora got onto it.
Okay.
And so Katie, Doug, actually, I lived with her for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and we all like knew each other for a while. And
Gotcha.
so then I got to Nora, and then Nora was like, yeah, Dicky. Like, she kept saying it. And then it just kind of, like, when they showed up with those shirts, like, I was like, oh, everyone's going to be so confused, because it is still kind of, like, relatively new. Like, I
Right.
think my parents just found out. Because I could just, like, see my mom's face, and I'd tell her that they call me Dicky. Like, Dicky? Why do they call you Dicky? You know, like, so, like, confused and, like, worried. But I don't know. I've always, like, had, like, a bunch of nicknames, too, so I feel like this one fits. I mean, everyone seems to feel like it fits. Like,
this was going to be on for the long haul, right?
I think you got to experience some van time or like some other time, and
For
then
sure.
you're like, oh, Dicky, yeah.
But I mean, like nicknames you don't choose the nickname. The nickname chooses you.
Right, exactly.
It's like a cat, you know.
Yeah.
They adopt you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were some of the other nicknames that you had?
Nangers was like my most recent one. Nangers is like whippets in Australia.
Okay.
But, yeah, when I first came to California when I was like 16, and I was hanging out with these Australians, and I was just kind of like, just like, I don't know. They said I was just like naturally on Nangers. Like, so they always be like, Nangers, what are you doing, Nangers? Like, fuck off, Nangers. Like, everything was like Nangers. So people called me Nangers for a while, like all the Australians. And
I like Dicky better.
Yeah, Dicky's here to stay, I think.
Any
I think
others?
that's my final phase.
Final.
Like, just my parents, like Coley, Nicole, Coley Oleander, Coltrane, Matilda.
It's a weird name.
One of my uncles calls me Kenny. I don't know. Just like, it's so many.
What's up with these?
I have so many nicknames.
Does he even know your name? Maybe. I don't know. He's like,
I'm gonna start calling Kelly John.
John. Yeah.
John, what's up, John? What'd you say, John?
Yeah, I don't know.
Random.
It is so random, but I've just been like the nickname person. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I feel like there's more, but that's good enough.
Yeah, I feel like Dubs, nickname Dubs, Wilson, Jerron.
Yeah, people always wonder like what.
I didn't put it together at first.
Sense.
Yeah,
I'm like W.
Yeah.
Dubs.
Yeah, and then the person who, because it was always for me, it was like Chris is such a common name, so everybody called me Roberts.
Right.
Then it went to like C Rob, and then of all people, Davis Torgerson, right here on the show, I was calling him Torgy the whole time, and he said, "Oh, Krob." And so Krob has kind of like stuck.
Krob. I like that.
You like that? It's a good one, right?
That's a sick one.
It's kind of funny. No one thought of that before, though.
I know, it's so bizarre.
Like that.
But leave it to Davis Torgerson to like come up with. He's such a witty dude too.
Yeah.
He's
pulled it out of the hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Nicknames are Kelly doesn't really have. You don't really have a nickname.
Mr. Handsome. That's
No.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go with John.
Mr. Handsome.
Beans.
We're gonna go with Beans.
Obviously, it's kidding, but no, Beans randomly was one.
K-Fatty.
Back home.
Right, Beans.
Yeah.
Beans is good.
That's sick.
It's a good one.
It's not bad.
Beans.
Yeah.
But it was named for no reason. It was like, Kelly, you look like your nickname would be Beans, and I was just like, that was it.
But that was at like
That
a
was
skate camp or something, right?
No, it was like actually randomly on Lincoln when I was 16 years old.
Wow.
There was a Beans, some sort of ad on a billboard.
Heinz Beans.
Wow.
It's like, hey,
It is stuck in the
you
car.
resemble
Yeah. All good. But yeah.
Okay.
Not much of a
Beans.
nickname. Raj, do you have?
Beans.
Raj.
Dubs.
Oh yeah, Raj. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you say it with a zh at the end.
I like it because I mean I used to watch Raj.
They call me the Watcher.
from
I'm blanking on the show.
what's happening now?
What's happening now?
What's happening now?
I love
Or
that.
what's happening? And then
Yeah, his
what's
name was. They always say Raj.
Yeah, with the glasses.
Yeah.
Dubs, do you know the theme song to that?
I can't place
No.
that right now.
He's a good singer.
Yeah.
By the way, he sings really. He's got a great voice.
Yeah,
No,
he
I'm
really
not.
does.
I try.
I'll hear it later then.
That's right. Yeah.
Off the camera. I know. He doesn't want to like show off.
He's done it on camera before.
There's a time
yeah,
limit.
yeah.
It's got to be in the right moment.
Okay. Listen, we may find the right
That's fair.
moment before this episode ends.
Yeah.
We spoke on injuries before. You said like even filming this last part, you had a couple injuries that you dealt with. But you tore your labrum, is that right?
Yeah, in my hip. That was like my first kind of bigger injury.
What happened to your hip?
I slammed on vert. Like I hung up. I was learning fakie lean details, and I was like, thought I was the shit. I was like fakie lean detail everywhere I go,
Yeah.
And then just hung up on one and went straight to flat on my hip and like couldn't walk. Like
it was that bad.
Yeah, I ended up like being able to walk like not too long after that, but I was like really bad. And then
Wait. Did you get an MRI, X-rays, all that stuff?
Yeah.
It wasn't broken. It was just severely bruised.
Well, then I got an MRI and they said I tore my labrum. And then I just have like never wanted to get surgery or like do anything. So I was like just trying to figure out all the things that I could do to, get back and like start skating again. And I ended up doing PT for like 3 months, didn't help. And he was like, well, you might have to surgery, and I was like, I don't really want to do that. And he was like, there's this other thing that the snowboarder Kazu has done. He's from Japan, like Olympic snowboarder. He was like, it's PRP, it's called plasma rich platonics, which you probably know.
Yep.
And so I ended up doing that, and it helped. So
Really?
I did that on my hip. I've done that on my hip, my knee, and my ankle.
Did you have to go somewhere else to do that?
Yeah, it's not covered by insurance. So I did, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like sketchy or anything. It's like still like normal. I just had to pay out of pocket, which in the grand scheme of things wasn't. It was like $1,000, which
okay, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Like, like for it to actually work, and you know, I mean, I'd probably have to pay that maybe with insurance for actual surgery, right? So it was like a deal, and like my knee and ankle were cheaper than that. The hip was like kind of more expensive because there's just like a bigger joint.
Where is the labrum?
It's where your like pelvis and your kind of like femur bone connect.
Okay,
cartilage in there. Yeah.
Oh, so no wonder you couldn't walk.
Yeah, it was like just so much pain, like kind of in that like crevice of like where your hip is.
Okay.
I had my labrum got completely torn out, like over skating throughout the years.
Yeah.
But when you did that shot, makes me think, like, what did it feel? Did it like immediately feel better?
No. So it takes like 10 weeks actually for you to like feel results, which is kind of interesting. So it was like kind of this whole like didn't like smoke or drink or like take like Advil like 6 weeks before and 6 weeks after or something like that. And then, I honestly didn't really think it worked until I like started skating again at 10 weeks. And I was like, I'm fine. Like I still to this day haven't felt anything.
You don't have to get it again and again over time?
Some people do, depending on how bad it is. Like you can get up to 3 in like the same area, I think. Or, you know, you can do that. You have to space it out. But yeah, I've had success with it. My ankle, like I feel like I could get another one on my ankle, but so far everything else that I've had it on is good. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like your own blood, and just I don't know.
Isn't it weird? Like I always wonder who the hell figures this shit out.
Right.
It gets regenerated. What is that? What it is?
Yeah, like so they like take out blood from like you know, and then they spin it so fast, and when your blood like spins at that rate, you know, your blood like creates these plasmas that are like healing properties, because your body like thinks like when it's spinning it like thinks it's like under threat of some sort, and so it like creates all these like things naturally, and then they inject all that natural like plasma that was just created back into that area, and then it like
regenerates.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre because like blood is flowing through like blood vessels, you know, but then you're just injecting that blood into not the blood vessels, right? You're injecting it into an area.
Right, into the joint, which
it's just weird.
Your joints don't really get much blood flow, so that's why it's like takes so long for things to heal, because
God, it is bizarre.
Yeah, I know, right?
Modern medicine.
People are really smart. I don't know who the people are that are so smart.
Like what's a scientist that's like spinning blood and like thinking like, oh, well, look what I found. I have plasma in the blood. Definitely. If I spin it at 5,000 RPMs.
Yeah, I know.
And then put it back in.
Thank God.
It works.
Yeah.
Like what's this going to do to a body if we put it back? I don't know. It's just it's crazy, but it works.
It works. Yeah. I mean, I've only done that. Managed to not get surgery, which I'm super hyped on.
That's amazing. And I love the fact that you wanted to look for alternative ways instead of surgery. Yeah. Because, or at least get a second or third opinion too. I feel like a lot of people just jump into surgery without like doing their kind of due diligence.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, I had broken my foot the first time, and we went to a doctor. My dad's a doctor, and the guy was like, "Oh, you need to put like 7 pins in your foot." And my dad's like, "No, we do not. We're going somewhere else." And the guy, it's only needed 2. Yeah. It's wild how different it can get at certain places.
And it's funny because like I went one time, I had this bad toothache. It was on the weekend. We're talking about teeth now, but it's the same thing though. I was in such agony and such pain. My dentist wasn't going to be in until Monday. And I had to go Western Dental, it's a budget dental place. It's like a chain, like McDonald's. Went in there, they wanted to pull my tooth. They're like, "Oh, we'll just pull it out." And I'm like, "No, you're not going to, no." And then I just suffered through the pain. They gave me some meds, and I went back to my dentist, and he's like, I told him that. He's like, "Pull it out?" I'm like, "No, we'll just fix it."
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, what kind of mentality is like, we'll just pull it out. You'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta get a fake tooth. I gotta do all this shit. Like, are you kidding me?
Extra money. When there's a problem, follow the money.
It's so bizarre. So bizarre. So yeah. So the labrum is kind of the biggest injury.
No, I wouldn't say it. That was like my first injury.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like every time I get injured, I'm like, this is the worst. You know, like I don't know. It's hard to say, but I separated my shoulder last year. The first time I like really separated, and then the second time I like fell like the same way and kind of just like I would assume like made it worse. You know.
This shit's linger too.
The shoulder was really bad. I just like it still kind of hurts, and I think that like no one could ever really prove it to me, but I think like my rib popped out too because I like hit like this, and like I still can feel like where my rib is just like
towards your back,
in my back, and it just like
go to a chiropractor.
Yeah, I know. I went looked at Kelly again.
Yeah. that was Lil Raj.
That was Lil Raj.
I'm gonna start looking that way too. I'm like, what?
Little Raj fell on his back on the curb and actually popped my rib inward. And I went to a chiropractor and they popped it back out.
Inward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did go to a chiropractor, but I don't know if it's like being stubborn.
So you could feel it to this day.
Yeah, I can. It's better for sure, okay. But I still can feel like I still like randomly will like move. I like move a certain way like every other day, and then I crack it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you go to the doctor after when you did it?
Yeah, I got an X-ray on it. They just said I separated. It was like an X-ray 2-3 grade separation, and they were like. Yeah,
an X-ray would
just
show.
Put in a sling for a minute.
Yeah, a sling, and then I just did like a little, some rehab, and really still kind of feel like I'm rehabbing it. Yeah,
how long ago?
That was in June of last year, end of June, and then I went again I was in Barcelona, and I like did the same thing. And
so you didn't get any PT, or you did?
I did kind of. Okay. I need to do better with PT.
It's
so hard, but
it's the most integral part of an injury for sure.
Yeah, I'm always like on it, but then like off of it sometimes. I'm like pretty good, like maybe better than most people at like doing it and stuff. But then like it's not fun.
I think sometimes you don't think you need it because like I broke my elbow one time and had the cast on, but didn't do any PT because I thought, oh well, it's just going to stretch. But I can't touch my shoulder now. Yeah. It's just like it locks at a certain point.
You can't do PT anymore, huh?
We're way past PT. We're way past it.
You could maybe get it.
I've tried. Even if I push, I can't do it.
PRP shots.
I can't touch it.
Oh,
is that
PRP,
weird?
That
PRP
is
shot.
so crazy. Yeah, PRP. Send you to the PRP doctor.
I don't know if I need to pay $1,000 to get my elbow working again. I've lived with it this long.
It's like one of those. Remember the computer screen where it goes to the corner? You're like, it's gonna hit the corner. Like.
The DVD thing?
Yeah, but like...
Oh, the DVD?
Yeah, and you're like, it's right there.
It's right there, dude.
You won't hit it, dude.
I can't.
Like, if this shit itches, I got to cross over and do it. It's a whole thing.
But you can itch your other shoulder.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. But I just can't touch this. This hand will never feel my shoulder again. Will not have contact with it. But it's just one of those things, right? It's like, who would have thought I would need PT for a broken elbow, right?
You just need PT for everything. You just need PT for life.
Always
need to be doing PT.
It's called a therapist.
Yeah.
You go see Jessica, don't you?
I do, yeah. I see Miss Jessica,
But like, that's amazing, though. I mean, that's something skaters need to be doing these days. If you're trying to be a pro skater, you have to
you have to be working out.
If you have that, like, utilize it 1,000%. Yeah. Like, I mean, not everybody has access to, trainers like that.
How often do you work out with her?
2 times a week, I would say.
Really?
Yeah. Right now I'm on a little hiatus, but I was like, just, coming down from all the activities. So
is it more of not like working out, so to speak, but like more of just keeping your body up to par?
Right? Exactly. And like she still focuses and like rehabs my shoulder in a way because she knows it still bothers me. So it's like she's really good at like adapting to injuries and kind of like morphing to what you need that day, or I don't know. She's really like quick about.
And she understands skateboarding too, which is great.
Exactly. Yeah. She understands how we move. She like watches us. And so she's really good. But
I feel like shoulders too, arms. I mean, we're waving around all the time, doing shit.
Yeah.
Like,
no, your arms are fucking super important, bro. Like shoulders are no fucking joke.
I had no idea how important the shoulder was until I like couldn't like move my body. I was like, I didn't realize. Like I couldn't drive for like, I don't even know, like a month. I drive a big truck though, but but I couldn't even drive because I couldn't even like when I was like turning the wheel with this left hand, I could feel it like from here.
Crossing over, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was like so annoying. I couldn't drive anywhere.
Wait, you were doing the steering wheel like it's this huge like 18-wheeler. Like I couldn't. Like I'm just turning right now.
Big ass truck.
Yeah, it's a big ass truck.
I do.
I'm doing big ass truck.
I don't know.
She's a birdie knob.
Weird. Yeah.
What do you drive? A
Ford F-150.
Okay, dually.
Nice.
No, not dually. Okay. Just.
You like the trucks?
Yeah, I love trucks. I've had a truck ever since I could drive.
Dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I used to have a mid-size truck though. I had Chevy Colorado. I had a couple of those actually. I totaled the first one and then I got another one.
What happened?
I crashed into a tree after school.
After what?
Yeah, just after school in the daylight. Nothing sketchy. I was just driving way too fast and encouraged to drift it.
And you met up with the tree.
And I didn't drift it. Yeah, it was really silly. But I only had my license like 2 months, and it was like it was not. Yeah, my parents were not stoked.
I could imagine.
The like whole neighborhood came out. It was like I was on my way to drop my friend off at school, and I had like too many kids in the car.
You were right by your house.
Man.
Oh, I was right by my friend's house.
Okay.
I was like pretty far. I was by the high school, and then the cop was pretty generous, but like no one couldn't prove anything. But yeah, it was like
a dog ran out in the street and I swerved.
I just was like I was going too fast, and my friend told me to turn too late, and I just.
Is this a rule?
It was crazy.
Is this a rule by you where in the first 6 months of your having your license, you can't have people in your car under 18 or something like that?
Yeah, it's like your first 6 months, you can only have one other person. Oh, and then after that, you can have like 2. It goes in like some increments.
Really?
But yeah, I had 4 people in my car. Like, it was like way over
I don't remember that being a rule when I got my license.
It definitely was when I first started. I think it was right around when I turned 16.
Like when you had your learner's permit, you can only drive with somebody that's like 25 or older or something like that.
In the car with you.
In the car, yeah. But
and
then once you get your license, it's free game.
Then they started it where you could only drive by yourself or one other person in the car or something like that. Yeah.
Huh. We're too old. We're too old.
You're too old.
We're the same age. So.
Trying to blow me up on this show, man. So, that's interesting. It's like you hit milestones, I guess, like when you're driving.
Yeah.
So you got the F-150. That thing must eat some gas.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Oof. Not stoked on that part of it, that's for sure. Luckily, I'm not home, so I never drive it, honestly. So, yeah.
Dude, the gas price. I mean, I haven't driven my car for a little bit, but I went and got filled up. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, what is $6.50 right now or
something? It's crazy. Insane. Yeah. I think like I have a pretty cheap gas station in my house. I think it was like $5.86. But like that it went way up and then it like kind of like came down a little bit and now it's gone up again to what it was. Right. Yeah.
Listen to what we're saying too. Like $5.82 was cheap. Like, you know.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Last year if it was $5.86 I would have been like, no. Like I'd go down and get something for $4. Like I don't know. It's really crazy. Yeah. I would if I was like home all the time, I'd probably sell it just because it's too expensive to drive. Like
for sure.
So you're saying you're not home all the time? Are you traveling a lot? Is that?
Yeah, I've been steady travel.
That's dope.
I haven't like been at my place more than like 2 weeks probably, like in a row. You know.
Nike trips, real trips. What are we talking?
Yeah,
here?
Nike trips, real trips, NHS trip.
Dope.
Just like there's always something going on nowadays.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It's been really fun.
Stay in the moment.
Yeah.
You know? Because those trips will blend together as you get older and you won't remember where the hell you were at this spot. Was this spot in this country or this place? Or
I already feel similar to that right now. And I don't know. Time just seems to be like compounding on itself a little bit. Like with the times of like so much technology and so much.
Oh my God! And just as you get older,
travel, you
get older. Time. I mean, when you get Duran's age, it just time flies.
There is
Duran's younger than you.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I mean, I feel it. I just turned 25, which I know is like
You're still,
whatever.
Yeah.
I know
You're
it's
a
not
baby.
old,
You're
but
still
like
young.
I can feel the time. Like whoa, like this year has went crazy fast. Like it's
Oh,
about to
yeah.
be 2023.
Yeah,
I know,
crazy.
right?
I mean, we say it every year. Like I can't believe it's gonna be this year,
I
but
know.
like it keeps
Yeah,
happening.
that shit super fast. Man.
Do you have any
Well-
trips coming up soon?
Let's see. Not really any skate trips on the radar
That's
right
good.
now.
So you'll be
yeah,
home for a
something
little while.
chill. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm planning to be home till like Thanksgiving pretty much. I go home and see my family.
Cool.
But yeah, other than that, it's pretty mellow. There's always
Nice.
like some, things here and there that
Sure.
come up, but for now, just loving my apartment and
Nice.
loving being
Getting
in it.
getting into bed at 5 o'clock
yeah,
p.m.
getting into bed early, getting up early, living my best life.
Oh, I
go.
love it. Hey, keep killing it. You're doing your thing. I mean, dude, congratulations. Much
Everything.
success on
Yeah.
everything.
Thank you.
We're gonna get the shoe soon. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Trust me. I'm gonna talk to him. Don't worry about it.
For ourselves.
Don't
Are
worry
you?
about
Who are
it.
you gonna talk to?
I don't know. I'm just gonna.
Phil.
I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna wing it.
Wing it.
I know some people up there.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
You do.
Give him a call.
He does.
Give him a call.
Give him a call, Chris. I'm down.
We gotta
You know,
have,
I got ideas.
See, that's the thing.
I got
is
millions
we
of
got to
ideas.
figure out what those, it's like, do we present it to them first and say, hey, look at this. We got this whole, we got a whole thing lined up. This
Yeah.
is 2024. It's going to come out spring. It's going to last through the.
Yeah, because they're
We're,
built
gonna
out.
last
Yeah.
through
we're
the-
setting them. We're setting their dates.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
are gonna come out.
No, for sure. We got to do that. Or
Yeah.
she's coming out with a part on this. It's like, we got to have everything lined up.
I mean, it can't hurt.
Yeah.
Like we said, all you gotta do is ask.
Yeah.
There you go.
Speak up.
That's right.
Speak up
That's
in your
right.
life, people.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming by. It's
Hell
been
yeah.
such a fun time talking to you
Good
and
job.
getting to
for
know getting to know you better and your history and stuff like that. It's rad. I love this show because we all end up at the same place, but we all get here so much. Everybody's journey is different.
Right? Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, your dad
Interesting.
got ramp plans from Tony Hawk and built a half pipe in your backyard.
Exactly.
Was it in
Like-
the backyard or was it like in an indoor type of situation?
Yeah, in an outbuilding. Yeah.
Cool.
Like, yeah.
Oh.
So, because he always built outbuildings, like, because to hold his construction stuff, and like that was like something he always did anyways. And he loved basketball, so he would put a basketball hoop in it.
Oh,
and,
rad.
And I loved basketball growing up. I wanted to be a pro basketball player when I was a kid, and till I like found skateboarding, and then I was like, I just wanted to skateboard.
Okay. Okay.
So-
I think because then I mean out there the weather's not the best too, so you could skate
Horrible.
whenever.
Yeah.
That's
It was a
amazing.
little like the heater, like we had a heater in there, but sometimes it was still like
It didn't
really,
work.
really cold.
cold.
Yeah. Or like I would forget that I wanted to skate, and I would go out there, and it would just be like so cold you couldn't
Right.
even like it gets like 10 degrees is like pretty average, I would say.
Dude.
I get cold when it's like 72.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like freezing.
It's
Would it
like
affect the
really-
ground, like as far as like ice ground, like slippering around? And shit?
Yeah. So like the ramp would even
yeah, the
like
ramp,
get
yeah.
like slipperier, like because it was like so cold. And sometimes I would like just if it was like maybe I would still sometimes skate if it was like 40 degrees or something. Like even though it was cold, but I don't know. Yeah.
When it's cold out, those slams hurt so
much more.
much
Oh, man.
more.
Yeah.
Hitting your palm
Ooh,
on the ground.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
the hand on the ground is like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
it's like what was that, Mr. Glass or something? Like just you shatter.
Yeah.
That first 15 minutes, you're like, fuck, I got to get my body warm and acclimated to, obviously deal with a slam like that.
Right. Yeah. You don't want that. You don't want that in those times. That's for sure.
Can we give you some 9 Club stuff to take home with you? We got
Yeah.
thermoses, not Yeti stuff.
Thermoses,
We got
let's go.
thermoses.
Awesome.
Kelly, we do the honors.
Of course. What
Grab-
size we work? Small, medium,
medium.
medium.
Medium. I've learned that I'm a medium now.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's taking you that
It's
long
taken
to
me a
figure
long
out what it-
time.
Figure this out here.
25 years, Mom, I'm a medium.
You know what though? I'll tell you this. I go. It's weird because I like sweaters, mediums, shirts, larges.
Mm-hmm.
But I go through these weird phases too, where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to wear medium shirts now.
Right.
And I'll wear large shirts, but then I'll go back to the. It's like this
I've done
weird
that,
thing.
no doubt.
Yeah, it's all the trend and the style and the moment, I guess. Like whether you really follow it or not, you like
Yeah.
are
Well, you got
succumb
good
to it.
steez though.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try. I mean, if I didn't, that would be hurtful. because I really love to
Yeah.
do that.
Style's everything
Yeah,
at the end of the
style
day.
makes you feel
For
makes you
sure.
feel good.
For sure, for sure. And it's so important for skating too. just what you're wearing.
Right.
All that stuff matters. You could be wearing a shirt that's whack and you have a bad skate day.
Look good, skate good.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, look good, skate good.
Look good, skate good.
I like to like kind of, you know, try to see what I'm going to skate and figure out like what looks good with the
shoes and everything.
Shoes and like the spot itself. And
oh, really? You go that
know.
deep? You're like, oh, I'm going to skate this, so maybe
sick.
I'll match up with this.
There's like,
So maybe your colorway will match every spot you skate.
Yep, it's gonna have to. I'm
Let
gonna
me
need a
write
lot
that
of
down.
color.
Let me write that down for the meeting.
Like, where are we skating today? Red curbs. All right, like, I'm gonna bring in that.
Yeah.
Randomly, I'm gonna put my red dunks on today.
Got the spots all mapped out.
Yeah, got it. Sometimes you know you have to just be like, all right, what do I, you know. Gotta go with what you feel on that day because you don't always know what you're gonna skate. But
Exactly.
Your mood.
But yeah, if you know what you're gonna skate for sure.
That's funny.
Got
I
it.
never really did any of that stuff. No.
Felix did.
Felix Aguirre's, yeah, he would definitely match his shoes with his board, with his hat, with the
some
spot.
swag.
Oh yeah, we got all this
Ooh,
stuff.
I like
We
the
got all this
cup.
stuff.
Medium, so I threw a large sweat.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, you wash it in hot water. And
Yeah,
it'll
it's all
shrink.
good.
You know
I'm
what
not
saying?
worried.
Put that dryer on high heat. Nicole,
Chris.
thank you so much for coming by. This was amazing.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank
Much
you
success
guys.
for
So stoked.
Hell yeah. Thank you
all
for
the
coming.
stuff that's upcoming and everything that you've accomplished so far. We got Yeti. Keep hydrated out there.
Keep
Okay?
hydrated. You know this is gonna be used.
There you go. There
I'm
you
actually
go.
really excited. I'm looking at sorry water bottle.
Well, you got a little small guy there. You got to upgrade it.
Yeah. You know, believe it or not, I just want to say something.
Please.
I don't think this fits in my Ford F-150 cup holder.
Are you telling me?
I'm just pissed at Ford, honestly.
Are you telling me that your Ford, that big ass truck
Yeah.
doesn't have big ass cup holders?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
We got a coffee mug for you then.
We got other
I have
stuff.
to put like my one water bottle upside down so it fits in the cup holder.
That little water bottle you have right now,
This-
does that fit in there perfectly?
Yeah, it does.
You just put this one in the seatbelt.
Yeah, it's okay. This can roll around.
Okay.
I just like wanted. I maybe like just Ford. Maybe do something about your car.
I know.
Yeah.
You have this big ass truck, but you got little ass cup
Just
holders.
doesn't make sense.
Do you like tea, coffee? Are you what
Yeah.
kind of person are you?
English breakfast tea.
English breakfast. Do you
Yeah.
put sugar and milk in it?
Oat milk. Yeah.
Oat milk.
I've been off the sugar lately.
That's
little
good.
Bit.
I like
At least
that.
in my tea, not so much outside of my tea, but
It's easy to wean off of the sugar in the coffee or tea because you
Right.
just keep putting less and less in there,
Right.
and your taste buds just adapt.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it just tastes normal.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I used to have coffee with my sugar, and now I just take black coffee.
yeah,
Just perfect.
adapted.
Well, espresso shots. Anyway, enough about me. Here's a 9 Club
Thank you. Swag.
crew neck for you, and a medium tee for you also.
Let's go.
And a 9 Club mug with some stickers. Listen, we're
Perfect.
going to get back on the podium again. 20
All
bucks.
right,
20
yeah.
bucks photo incentive.
Right there.
Damn.
Oh, put
20
it on-
bucks.
20 bucks.
He delivers it in person.
I will.
Delivers it in person.
Yeah.
You get- if
With
you-
with a like a shoe deal too. Or-
Oh, yeah, you gotta get the shoe deal there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The colorway.
That's $20 and put like a gallon in your truck.
yeah, right.
See?
A
God.
whole gallon.
I
It
will-
doesn't even let me fill up my tank because the thing stops
pump
at
stops.
$100. You know.
Oh yeah, a lot of
It
the pumps.
would-
It's like, first of all, if you want us to fill up our tank, let this thing ride.
Yeah.
You know,
Let it
some of these
go.
pumps they stop at 100. They don't
Yeah.
go
I
beyond.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
How much, if you're putting $100, how much, if you wanted to fill the whole thing up, how much would it cost?
I think I've calculated like 160 for the tank. Yeah, it's like a
How many
32 gallon tank.
Okay, so that's a
So-
lot of gallons.
Yeah.
So you're
it's
going to
a
get
lot.
the Cybertruck when it comes out?
I don't know. That thing looks. We were just talking about that the other day. Where is it? I want to know
Yeah, that
because
shit is on
he was
late train.
he was
23.
he was claiming. Was he claiming 2023? Or I thought he was claiming before that, but
It's the batteries.
was.
They haven't been
Yeah.
manufacturing the batteries fast enough.
I mean that looks intense. That looks like people would be scared if I like coming down the road in this Cybertruck.
They
But,
can't even hear you.
I mean, yeah, they can't hear me, and yeah, it looks pretty intimidating.
It's supposed to float.
It's supposed to float.
Yeah, they want to use it as a boat as well.
Wow.
No.
I mean-
He's not using it as a boat.
I
He's
mean,
gotta cross the
someone's
channel.
gotta take it.
If he was if you're crossing a river or like something, you're going to be good. But
Right.
they said they don't recommend it. You use it as a boat.
Oh, have you seen cars that turn into boats.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Amphibious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are sick, like old classic. I used to see those
And it
on the
just
river.
morphs, like
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be the weirdest feeling though, driving it and going into a lake and just trusting that this thing is going to keep going.
Gotta have strong trust for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway,
Those are cool.
here's the stickers for your board
Perfect.
for the
Thank
and
you.
the mug for
Yes.
and we got other
Lovely.
stuff in there too. We got this one fits in my cup holder.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
it's now they
See?
must have got the message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Next
options
time.
here.
Yeah,
Good
that's
stuff.
nice.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Nicole, thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on.
thank
Appreciate
you
that. Come
guys.
back anytime. You're welcome anytime. We'll come back on our Stop and Chat show. Returning guests come back on all the time.
Stop and chat. Okay, so I don't have to turn pro again to.
No.
Get back.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna have a surprise party for you though.
All right, word.
Yeah, for the shoe.
Hey, Dubs.
For the
Dubs?
I was
What?
like, someone needs to give this guy a surprise party. if nobody does, I will.
Seriously?
Dubs he gets angry. He after the show ends, he yells at all of us for
No,
bringing it up.
I'm leaving. I'm just leaving right now.
No, yeah.
I can't
Silent
believe you
treatment.
guys bring that up every time. Can you imagine if you did?
Quit rubbing it in my face.
Thank you so much,
Word.
Nicole.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
I'm stoked.